Hey, welcome to the watch party.
You stole my line.
It's Straight Cast Outdoor Cartoon Television Wednesday night. This is the glorified version of a bass fishing talk show, and I'm Pat Renwick, and we're back. We are back, Bass Galaxy. Hello, hello, hello. What do you think? How you feeling?
Top notch.
Yes. Watch party weekend. It's here now. Hey, we're excited to be back on the after the ever so what would you call it? Our little escape to Legends Month. You know, we're back.
Yeah.
Tonight with, but I guess like if you think about it,
it's
like this guy is a legend also, and tonight we bring you the one and only Aaron Martens is coming back to the show. Yes. What do you think?
It's about to get weird, wild, and wacky.
I mean, it's always great when Aaron comes because we never know what to expect. It's but I do know one thing about after the shows with Aaron that we sure learn a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's like you have to. It takes a while for it all to sink in. Okay, but it finally happens. It finally happens, and you learn a lot. And Aaron Martin's coming back for how many? How many times is this now on the show? Like 4, maybe. A lot. 4 or 5 times. Aaron's a regular. It's like Jimmy Kimmel. You know, we do the rotation.
Yeah.
We do the rotation. And Aaron coming on here, got a lot of good things going on with Aaron. We'll get to all that. Man, we're excited. We're just excited. Wednesday nights. The College Capers is going strong. The College Cuts.
College Cuts.
Straight Cast Gone Wild, College Cuts, College Capers.
Yeah.
That's Danny Mohan's new project. That's going on. Make sure you check that on the YouTube channel, the Straight Cast YouTube channel. I'm getting all the business out of the way. If you notice, I'm kind of going bass backwards here before I get into the fun stew.
Giving us the business.
Yeah, giving you the business here before we get to it. Hey, I want to remind everybody next week, you'll see why I'm doing this. This is all going to make sense. Next week, it's Corey Johnston, Drew Cook, and B-Lat coming at us.
Nice.
Yeah. You'll see.
All at once.
And we are not having a Christmas party next week. No, we're not. I'm sorry, but we're gonna celebrate. I know. I know, but we're gonna celebrate. But we're not gonna do the usual give the house away deal because here's why. Do we have exciting breaking news music? Bang, bang. This just in, the first show of January is Viewer Appreciation Show, and we're giving away just a ridiculous amount of stuff. You're going to want to be here. New sponsors galore, all kinds of exciting things happening for Straight Cast. It's the first show of January. Yes. Don't miss that. JP, you're even eligible. You are even eligible.
Christmas shows are cliche anyways. Let's kick off the new year.
I pick the winners.
Yeah, JP picks the winners. You can pick your winners, and you can't pick your friends' winners.
Exactly.
But you know what? Speaking of winners, you know that guy Frank Morris? Yeah, Frank Morris won some War Eagle spinnerbaits, and Frank, rest assured, yes, Frank, your spinnerbaits are on the way. Yes, they came in, so you don't need to message us anymore, Frank. It's coming. Your baits are coming, and guess what? Guess what? Tonight we're doing a War Eagle giveaway.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Nice.
right. Got a bunch of War Eagles
Frank, we
downstairs.
said Screaming Eagles, so they'll get there faster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
You need your own drum roll there. Your little rim shot
Where's
there.
it?
But hey, it's real easy. Straight Cast, the place to win things Wednesday nights. All you got to do is like and share the live Facebook feed. Put you in the drawing at the end of the show. Randomized. Winner picked by JP High and Danny Mohan. Very easy. Like and share the live feed. Chance to win $50 worth of War Eagle spinnerbaits. Not too bad, right?
Phenomenal.
Not too shabby for basically doing nothing.
Yeah.
Just liking and sharing.
Yeah.
Sharing and a liking. Liking and a sharing.
Yep.
Loving and a hugging.
Simple enough.
Squeezing and a tugging.
Bingo.
Chunking and a winding. You know who that is? The chunker and winder of everyone.
Turning and a burning.
Ladies and gentlemen, right here, he's the drummer of the group. Ryan
What's up?
Popcorn Whitaker.
Welcome to the watch party, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch party weekend.
I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's the same thing. But it's officially a party now.
It totally cracked me up.
Said it.
That's all I know. It's a watch party weekend. Ryan, what's new, man?
Man, not a whole lot. You know, Just trying to sling a lot of jigs.
You sure
And,
are. You sure are.
Not work a stupid job every day anymore. That's really all.
And you're doing good at it.
I'm trying.
You guys are selling jigs every day.
Yeah, man.
Every day.
Yeah.
Hustling.
Yes.
The fish and hustle. Would you say
Hustle-in.
that Al Linder episode last week inspired you?
It had everything to do with it.
See, why does it always happen in the intro that my chair shrinks?
Quit getting small, man. There's that ED again.
The ED. Yeah, I think that inspired everyone, didn't it? That Al Linder episode.
Yeah, it did.
If you missed the Al Linder episode, go back on the iTunes or the Facebook or the YouTubes or whatever. It is inspiring. I say that sincerely. I think
Changed my life.
it really
No,
for
that
real.
was-
It was that
No joke.
much. It was really that much. I don't care if you're an Al Linder fan or if you are not an Al Linder fan. It will inspire you if you are a fisherman, and that's the point of it. And you know
Yes.
who inspires me all the time?
One
And
of
not
those
all the
three guys,
time,
probably.
but sometimes he does inspire me. He's our very own intern, College Danny Mohan. That's right.
Yes, sir. Hey there.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Things are going good. Christmas break, so got a lot of free time now at least. But
And you're done with finals.
yeah, but we can't fish, Pat. Everything's icing over.
You
we're,
can fish.
You can
No,
fish.
we're,
There are
Ryan,
ways.
Ryan, we
There
are very
are-
in the region in which we're from. We're very limited right about
Dude,
now.
you got to
Come on.
remember that I know people at Bass Pro Shops. All we got to do is
I
go
was
up
gonna-
there, we jack a few, get the hell out of there, and we got our Jones fixed. We're good.
That's all we need, honestly.
We're gone 19 miles down the road, Bass Pro. I know Johnny's friends.
Yeah, we get our bass fixed. That
Yeah.
works out.
You're forgetting that we have polluted creeks around here that
We
just
do.
don't freeze because there's
Yes.
too many chemicals.
I've never tried them yet.
And they
It's
exude
something-
bubbles.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Saturday we have something to do.
Pollution
Dredge up
Fest.
some oil.
Pollution bass.
Let's have a
Yeah.
Pollution Fest watch party.
Bingo.
You want to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Pollution. We'll put it on Instagram Live.
There it is.
I have a barge party.
Barge party. I'm
Yeah.
down for the barge party. That'd be fun.
That's dirty. Dirty barge party.
Yes,
you
sir.
know who's not dirty?
No, I
He
haven't
ain't
a clue.
dirty.
Haven't a
I
clue.
don't-
He ain't dirty.
I don't know about that
He
one.
ain't dirty. He might be a little greasy. But ladies and gentlemen, he's the OG hip-hop fisherman, the one and only jig tying son of a gun. It's JP High. Hi, JP.
What up? What up? What up?
What's going on?
You know, my nickname is actually Dirty. A lot of people from high school call me Dirty.
Wow. See, I just nailed that one.
I've been Dirty JP for
Did you know who else
Quite a
his
few
nickname that
years.
is, actually?
who?
Mr. Fighters. That was his nickname in high school also.
Dirty.
Old Dirty.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys share
You're in
that
good
common.
company.
Yeah, you both like to fish a jig, and you both had the same nickname, and you went to the same high school or different high schools at the same time.
Yeah, you went to different schools together.
Yeah, exactly, something like that, right?
I just found that out. I love that.
Yeah, that's bass history right there.
Did we just become best friends?
I think so. You just had a cosmic connection with the llama right there.
Grow yourself a mud flap, boy.
Yep.
Llama.
You know what? You know who has very special what do you call those? DNAs? Well, you know who's got those special redhead DNAs that separate him from the rest of the bass galaxy?
More than one DNA.
Yes, he's got
DNAs.
tons of DNAs. Here in the Chicagoland area, we get multiple DNAs. We put them all together and they form the most kick-ass engineer producer in the bass fishing business. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Andrew Ellenberger. Let's introduce him. That's him. Aww.
Yo.
That's you.
Yeah.
Andy, are you excited?
Very.
Every time Aaron's coming on, I get a little worked up.
Aaron's my favorite.
Yeah,
human.
it's he is lots of people's spirit animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yep.
And he's an amazing dude, no doubt about it. So with that being said, how about we get to some amazingness? Put the power poles down. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with the natural. His name's Aaron Martens.
The revolution is now. The new day of the proper Bassin Man has dawned. The spirits soar, and the forests echo with laughter. The rise of the proper Bassin Man is now. Ask yourself, are you proper Bassin?
up your game. It has been said that professionals are only as good as the tools they work with, and Alpha Angler has developed the ultimate set of tools for you, the competitive angler. Alpha Angler custom rods, brought to fruition by the passion of master craftsman Jake Boomer and 2017 BASS Angler of the Year Brandon Palaniuk. Alpha Angler rods are custom made in the USA, designed and engineered to be perfect. Alpha Angler utilizes a very unconventional approach to making the very best bass rods, from drop shotting to flipping. Alpha Angler's focus is on building perfectly balanced tournament-grade bass rods at an affordable price. Join the Alphalution today and purchase direct at alphaangler.com. Step up your game. alphaangler.com.
Hey guys, Micah Frazier here. I've got a bait from War Eagle Baits called the Buzz Toad. Big thing lately has been putting a toad style bait on a buzz bait, and preferably it's my favorite way to fish one. This bait here's got a quick planing head, a great hook, and it squeals right out of the package. The body of this bait is big and bulky, so it allows you to skip it. It planes quicker than a skirted bait would. In my opinion, it's just the way to fish a buzz bait. So y'all check this thing out. It's pretty awesome.
The TH Marine Hydrowave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The Hydrowave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The Hydrowave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
Bite me! It's a command to the fish. Quality jig heads with quality components. With tried and true tackle like the Big Dude Goby head, the Hunter or Jacob head, or all new tackle like the Jackpot Net head or Buster Swim Bait head. Bite me! It's a command to the fish. Get the lead out and visit bitemetackle.net today.
Farther, get some Kevin Van Dam's line and lure. You can launch it a mile. Still going. Well, better stick to fishing.
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
You will learn things at Bass U that you will learn nowhere else.
We take the mystery and the myths out of bass fishing.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
At Bass U TV, shoes are optional.
And I like turtles.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.
In the history of all sports, there are those that stand apart, those that excel, those that make it seem easy, those that are natural. We bring to you, Bass Fishing Galaxy, the purest of bass anglers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the natural, the Aaron Martens! Yes. Yes.
Pat, are you there? I thought it was William Wallace.
What's going on?
That's
Not
too mellow.
much. Not much. I've been just doing stuff around the house. You know, I've been fishing quite a bit. My daughter and her girl partner from school had a little high school tournament Saturday. It's been staying pretty busy.
I saw that. They did pretty good, didn't they?
They both had limits, and they were top 30 somewhere. They did good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boats there, but
check cashers.
I've been trying to fish 3-4 days a week, you know, and I started getting all this stuff ready for next year, reorganizing stuff. I ordered like 150 storage boxes, and I'm just got a bunch of plans to kind of consolidate and make it a little easier, because tackle is the hardest thing about this sport, and everything else is pretty easy. It's, you know, the fish, as far as work wise, the tackle is
that is work. It's not just
it's
all
a lot of work. Yeah,
play. It's work.
Many hours. I mean, I think everybody that's serious about it puts a lot of work into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I want to get to the whole preparation thing, but I do want to talk to you about you for a minute. Okay. I want to just make a couple things known. You convey this image, whether you are aware of it or not. You are a perfect example of going with the flow. You really are. I don't know if that's, and I mean this in a good way, not like a follower. Yeah. I mean like the yin and yang way. You know what I mean? Like the presence. You are in tune. All right. Pure.
Well, the sport changes a lot. I mean, I've always been, one of the things I told myself as a young angler is, at bass fishing, I at a young age when I started, 15 or 13, whenever I started bass fishing, I was always thinking, and I fished all my whole life, saltwater and fresh, but it's hard to keep up with everything. And you think you're going to learn it all. Like at 15, 16, 18, whatever, you think you can learn this sport. And there's too many variables, especially when you travel the country like we do in different areas of the country.
But all that matters, though, Aaron, let me just say this. All that seems to matter to you is Leslie, Jordan, Spencer, and Bass. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. That's so great. You almost seem immune to outside forces. It appears that way. Do you guys agree with me?
Got a force field. Yeah.
You do have an Aaron Martens force field.
I've been through a lot. I guess I've been through some hard times and good times, and I've been beat up a lot in this sport. Some of the second place classics were tough.
We heard about those, 4 of them.
Yeah, and then second places in some of the West Coast big tournaments. I went through a lot of hard moments. A lot like that would go on for days too. And I always talk to myself, not out loud, but when you're driving, you always kind of try to tell yourself it's not, just to let it go, basically, and learn from your mistakes. And a lot of times you don't make mistakes and you struggle. So it's just part of the sport. Sports. I don't know. I played some sports in high school and stuff, but it's a hard sport. It's kind of like I don't know. There's a lot. You got your family, and then the bass part. The bass are really hard to figure out sometimes.
They sure are.
You don't get a lot of practice now. So, some of these events we don't get any practice. So I like that part of it. That's what makes the major leagues so exciting, is the cup events. I think, because
and
you're not supposed to study the area or nothing. It's off limits, and you just the cup events and the tour events are similar to that too. It's less practice, and it's just I don't know. It's more fun for me lately.
Yeah, but it seems that, like what you just said, you talked to us a little bit about some struggles that you had and some things that But I want to let you know that it doesn't come off that way. You basically do seem immune to struggle. Now,
one of my worst ones. You remember it was in Pittsburgh, right? When I lost that 2-pound smallmouth, and it rolled. It was on the. They didn't see the bass for how close it was to coming in the boat, but I literally landed flat on the gunnel. I remember watching it. There was no time to grab it. I remember watching it. It was either going to slip into the boat or slip out of the boat. It was my biggest fish I hooked all week. Last day, hour left, and I had that little short in the boat. I was afraid to wait. I ended up throwing that short back, and I lost by about 4 ounces. So
I remember seeing you collapse.
I knew when I had that 2-pounder, I knew that was a classic. and I didn't give up, but it was that. I mean, I didn't do that on purpose. It was this agony. And after that tournament, after I threw back the keeper, that was probably a keeper that I could have weighed in. I ended up not taking the chance as a 1 pound penalty. I didn't know what the other guy had, Kevin, so I ended up tossing him when it was on the line. And then now, after that, it's like I should have weighed in, of course.
Right.
But I lost by a few ounces. So that was kind of that lasted like a few days. I mean, I pray about it, and I try to be positive, but there's almost no way to make the pain go away for days. That's a hard thing to tell. It's like what, 500 grand that one, and money was big. I get 50 grand.
And a classic. I mean,
A
just
classic victory, yeah.
I mean, it's.
And I caught him so good in that one. It's just it was a tough one. But there's a lot of those that even you end up in the top 10, not even close to like really to winning it, but you were really close to winning it, and you may have made a mistake or didn't go somewhere you should have. There's just lots of fishing's all about that.
But here's what I'm saying. I've seen all this. We've seen that happen, especially
That's
the
how
classics.
I've learned, though. That's how I've learned. That's how
the next season you bounce back. It seems like you give 0 Fs. Boom, you're back. You're back bass fishing.
I turn it into productiveness, I guess. I do.
Thank you.
I torture myself for like days, even weeks later. I'll think about it, and then I'll think about what I did wrong, and then I turn it into like acceleration instead of deceleration, kind of a positive.
Now, has it always been like that, Aaron, or
I mean,
back in the early days, was it harder
Yeah.
to recover, and then you learned something along the way on how to shed it?
I don't know. I've always been real super competitive, so I get mad. And when I was younger, I probably wasn't as cool as I am now. I'm probably got hotter under the collar, but I think most young guys do that. That's normal. It's such a competitive sport, and if you're competitive, it's you beat yourself up. I never really took out anybody else but myself. That's kind of, and now that I have a family, I almost feel worse now that when I do bad or something fails like that, or like the Angler year when that one I had to fish to win the tournament at St. Lawrence, and I sheared some bolts off my jack plate. That was that was a bad one, and I let I got AOI the day before, and I would have won that one. And
yeah,
that was hard to take, but it was kind of sort of out of my hands. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just like I said, I don't take it out on anybody else but myself, and that's how I've kind of taught myself to let it roll. Like nowadays, something happens, I don't think I react at all hardly, just because I've already been there and done that. There's no reason to I guess waste energy doing that. Except when I fell on my back in Pittsburgh, that was hard to stop.
That I mean, and a lot of history with you, Aaron. I mean, and now you're in the Bass Pro Tour, and you're doing well there too. I mean, it doesn't seem to us in this room. Okay, this is our opinion, and I've talked to other people about it too. But it doesn't seem that it matters to you where you're fishing as long as you're fishing. Now, obviously, there was
Mexico. I would go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, obviously you left bass for a reason, whatever that may be. That's your reason. But the fact is that you're happy, and I think you still would have been happy even let's say that you switched to another league, that there was some other league, and you went and fished that one. I think you would be happy there too. That's
as long as I can make some money and make a living. Yeah, I'd probably be happy. But
catch fish.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about Bass. Bass runs a great circuit. And MLF obviously is doing a great job. It's first season, so
sure
for the tour. So I mean, I'm excited about it, and eventually I might even fish some FLWs. I might even go back to trying to qualify for a classic to have another chance at that too.
I mean, that's what I was going to ask you. Does that ever how often does that thought occur in Aaron Martin's mind? That
I was going through my trophies earlier today. They're in my garage. I don't really have a trophy room, because I have so many of them over the years. I got a lot of West Coast, wins too. So I got a lot of big trophies and a lot of plaques and stuff. Lots of, qualification plaques. I thought about it a little bit today, but more so I had those like heavyweight belts. Remember those they gave away in Bass?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
100 pounds. I think I got like 4 of those. And
do you really?
I don't look at them because I'm too busy. I have actually too much going on to even glance at my trophies. But I was kind of straightening them out because they kind of pushed around a little bit, so I had a blanket over them. I have them all neat. Someday I might have a place to put them. But I was looking at a few of them, and I was remembering. I looked at 108 pounds, 100, almost 130 at Falcon. I was looking at it's kind of more so than the classic. I don't know why. But as far as the classic goes, I mean, yeah, throughout the year, I can't deny it. It comes in the thought a few times here and there, but not as much as you think. It doesn't like bother me. Maybe it will when I get older, but I don't think it will. I mean,
But it's still a
I guess
possibility.
second place is good, but right now I feel like I still have a good chance to maybe win one.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if I were you, I would wear that belt around town. Like go to the grocery store.
All four
switch.
of them.
Yeah, wear
Just
them all.
wear 'em all.
Yeah, that's bling, bro.
Whole
that's
torso.
That's duo. That's Realis right there.
I think it's heavyweight belt man.
Around the neck, I could probably fit one around my neck.
That'd be outstanding. Hey, let's go on a trip. You want to trip with us a little bit? You want to go on an Aaron Martens trip?
Sure, I like trips.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go on a little trip. Come on, Aaron.
Where are we going?
We're gathering upon this thin raft. This thin raft.
We're going on a trip in a boat?
Yeah.
A
Can you hear the music?
A little bit, yeah.
Can you hear the music, Aaron?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I need you to get into it. All right. We're gathered together here today. Okay? And we're going to go into the life of Aaron Martens way back in the history. The virgin Aaron Martens. The virgin to bass fishing. The new horizon. Okay? So what I want to ask you is I want you to delve back and think about the first lure that you fell in love with, Aaron. What was the first lure you fell in love with?
Oh my gosh, what was it? I was a big time trout fisherman before I bass fished. I had like many days trout fishing in the Sierras and local lakes in California are really good for trout fishing, but the Sierras were fantastic. So for bass, if I remember right, oh man, the first lake I started fishing was Lake Piru and a new Ranger boat back then, a 363, which is a tiny little thing. And I had my a few tackle, a little bit of bass tackle. And I think one of the first things because it was Lake Piru and it was probably, I remember being pretty warm. I think it was like believe it or not, I think it was a Rebel Popar.
That Rebel Popar.
My first favorite bait because it worked really good there and it was so much fun. And I ended up catching a lot of fish on it the first year I was in my boat. So it was actually me and my mom's boat, but the Popar, I remember that.
Well, that was one of my next questions. That's the first boat. Was that the first boat that was actually yours to use on your own?
Well, my mom and dad I was 15 when we got that boat, and I don't know why I didn't want to wait for a 361 back then. If you guys know the older Rangers, the 361 was a single console, kind of had a big deck on it.
Yeah.
I love that boat, but I ended up getting a 363. And eventually ended up helping my mom pay for it because we actually, within a year, we started fishing like team tournaments and stuff and club tournaments. And actually we won quite a bit of money, enough to actually pay for our boat. So that I saved enough money to buy tackle and I worked too back then. So I worked a job and we fished as many tournaments as we could. So I actually was doing probably pretty good for a 15 to 16-year-old.
You know what's amazing about you, Aaron, is I want Ryan Whitaker to witness this, that Aaron actually answered every one of my questions without me even asking them right there. He went through the boat, he went through the money, he went through the lure.
Yep.
The only thing that you didn't answer is I want to know from you about what point or what time frame in your life did you first become woke? You realized that you were a professional bass fisherman.
Oh boy.
When was that?
I was probably 21. I still worked a job, but it was always a dream as a young kid. Once I started bass fishing, probably from about 15 years and up, I really wanted to do it. And I watched Bassmasters on TV back then, Bill Dance and Jimmy Houston shows, and Jerry McGinnis. I watched a lot of fishing shows, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something with that. At first, I kind of still wanted to be a saltwater captain. I think I've told you that before.
Yes, you did.
I was a salty, and I love saltwater fishing. I actually wanted to get a boat someday, and a big boat, and charter it. But I got into sport bass fishing and the tournaments, and eventually that kind of disappeared straight into all I wanted to do is bass fish. And I had different jobs growing up. All I wanted to do is bass fish. So a lot of jobs I did get, I got because I go to work early and get off early. And in California, half-hour drive to the lake, so you get 4 or 5 hours in a day. So I'd work, probably fish 5 days a week in those early years. And by the time I was 21, I actually still worked. I remember telling my boss I needed this week off, and he was really cool. His name was Sam something. It was a Unical gas station at the time, and I worked early shifts. So I told him I was going. I ended up winning that tournament. I was 21.
Nice.
And that was a fully rigged bass boat, a Ranger boat with a Mercury on it. It was probably worth like 35 grand. And that's about as much as I made in
That
a whole
was
year.
awesome.
So I figured I had a time to, it was time to, start fishing more of the pro events. And I started fishing West Coast bass and English choice and like a walleye bass tournament. So there's a lot of money to be made out there. And to make a long story short, so 21 is where I felt like I was actually a touring pro, even though I hadn't come back east yet.
Okay.
I had for a few championships at the Red River, and I had been to Arkansas and stuff for some stuff, but I was still California, Southern Cal, San Fernando Valley. So that point is when I actually came back and told my boss. I told him I was quitting.
What were you doing? What was your job?
I was a full serve Unical gas station at the time.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay,
in the valley,
your boss Sam. Okay, I get
West Valley, west side of the valley by Calabasas, in between Calabasas and Chatsworth, West Hills. It was kind of a well-known gas station. I saw a lot of people there, famous people at times.
Like who? Who'd you see?
I can't remember. Kirk Cameron came in there a lot. And
the growing pain guy.
Maybe some of the what's that show my wife watches all the time? Kardashian families. Maybe I've just seen people I recognize.
Maybe Bruce Jenner came in.
At that time. Well, I was right below the road, straight below like Bell Canyon. That's where a lot of those people live. They live like there's a really pretty canyon area, and it's like the road that comes down off that canyon. It's one of the first gas stations.
Clint Eastwood? Did Clint Eastwood come through?
I don't know. I saw quite a few people though. I didn't know. I just recognized them, sports guys. But I had the little suit on and stuff, and I did full serve. We actually pumped gas.
That's awesome.
They'd pull up and you
do you have pictures of that?
Actually, I think I do somewhere.
You please send those to me with the Sunoco outfit.
That was the whole job. Is I got there like 5, and I'd be out of there by 2. So I'd open up the shop, and then I'd be off by 2, and I'd go home and pick my boat up and go fishing. And that was pretty fun. I mean, the first few years I fished, I think I had a couple years back then where I was making close to 100 grand winning. So
wow,
those were like $30,000-$40,000 tournaments. Some of them, the open was 50 grand.
Exactly.
And I got quite a few seconds and thirds in that before I won one. So those days were pretty good. And the championships for the team tournaments, there's actually a lot of money to be made. I was actually, when I left California and started on the East Coast, started really touring at a pro level. I was roughly making at least 100 or more a year fishing. But there's a lot of expenses. You got,
of course,
right?
But you did okay. You were able to do it.
I'm older, so gas back then was less than $1. I remember paying like 70 cents a gallon for gas. So and I made decent money, and I did side jobs, construction and stuff. So I had quite a bit of money. And I remember I just at that point I had pretty decent stuff too. Getting your tackle up to date or good tackle is really tough on some. It's like I know for guys that are starting fishing, that's a big expense. I mean, you have to buy just equipment, tackle. So you want to make sure you have. So even when I was 21, I thought I was a pro. I still didn't have the arsenal nothing like I have now. Maybe I have too much now. That's
you have you have a whole center, a whole hub of tackle.
Yeah. Someday I'll be able to spread it all out and see what I got. But it's all in boxes.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about that tackle a little bit. I want to talk about off-season Aaron. Okay, let's talk about off-season Aaron. Now, I basically want you to kind of describe what you go through as a bass fishing professional from the day after the last event of the year. So kind of like in order. I mean, obviously you're traveling home for your off season, but you got to sell boats, you got to get new tackle, there's a lot of things to take care of. You line up new sponsors, you kick out old sponsors, you do all kinds of good stuff. I mean, walk us through a little bit of the life of an off-season Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, like you are, I run a lot. But during the tour, I'm actually one of the reasons I get excited about being off. It's obviously seeing the family, but I get back on a good routine where I'm running a lot and working out, eating healthy. I already do. So, but it's kind of a relief. But you're sort of sad when it ends because I was ready to go another year without stopping. As far as like the feeling I had, it's like you're still feeling like you're just at the peak. Because I mean, even though I work out and I run and eat healthy, and I do all that stuff, you gotta keep fishing. If you ever I don't know if you ever have taken a month or two off where you don't fish.
Yeah,
So when you
I have to sometimes.
Yeah, we're going to Florida for the first part of the season. So
I pitch in my living room. I have flipping.
yeah,
Yes.
that's good. But yeah, I'll go if you. That's why I made it take too much time off. So I still try to fish as much as I can, just for fitness, for actually fishing fitness. And of course, spending some valuable time with my family. That's a big part of it coming home. But then there's a lot of stuff. There's like usually you get thrown right into a couple of shows right after the season's over, like I did this year. I had like 2 or 3
sports shows.
3 sports shows, sponsor meetings. So I got home and I was gone for like, I don't know, Lake Mead and 2 cup events. I was gone for like 2 months. And a couple of times this year I was gone for 2 months. And I came home and like I was leaving. I had to leave like 3 or 4 days after being home. Then I came back and then I went to Connecticut for that one. And I came back and then I did some other stuff. And so I was gone a lot. Actually, the first month I was home. And then when you're home, all of a sudden, like a hunting trip came up. My daughter said, my friend's like, "You coming hunting?" And he texted me and my daughter, and we're like, because we always go down there. My friend Joe Durham in South Georgia, and we ended up saying, "All right." And so next day we went hunting for 3 or 4 days.
Nice.
Left, didn't know I was going.
What were you hunting?
Deer.
Deer.
Went, like early rifle season. It was fun. We shot 3 deer and 2 pig.
I could see you just jumping on a deer's back and slitting its throat.
I would have
Aaron.
to get close enough. I got my knife right there. I'm pretty strong. I'll get up.
Going Braveheart on him.
Yes.
So we did that, and then I got some shows coming up and some meetings, and then I do a lot of stuff like that people don't know about. It's like I work with Gamakatsu really heavy with designing. We got a bunch of new stuff come out with them. Rialos, I got a bunch of new things come out with Rialos in the next year. This next season, and also Picasso, we got a bunch of stuff going on. So there's like 3 major things going on right now.
So what do you mean going on? Like, when you say going on, are you helping in designing and
yeah, we got some
development?
I got some new hooks, but I'm always playing with hook designs. And the heavy covers one I came up with, like bending the O'Shaughnessy hook. I told you that's one I kind of helped Andre make.
The O'Shag Hennessy, yes.
Oh, the heavy cover one, or the BMF. That was a hook that I worked with. That kind of was the first hook I actually kind of bent that was made. And then now we got a drop shot hook coming out soon. Got a drop shot hook, a trailer hook, which has got me really excited because I put some thought into it, and I'm not going to say
talk
too
to me
much
about this. Talk to me about the trailer hook.
How can you make a trailer hook any different?
That's what I'm saying. Come on.
It's a trailer hook. Come on.
What's
but I
better?
did. I improved the trailer hook, which is amazing.
I'm sure you're the guy that can do it.
All the time, and I know how hooks work really because I've been working with them so long. And this new one is going to be.
Wait, let me stop you right there. Wait, hold on. You said you know how hooks work because you've been working with them so long. Now that makes no sense to a lot of people, okay? But to you, it makes perfect sense. So please explain what exactly that means. You know hooks.
You have those so many days on the water, and every hook I put on a fish, I glance at, see how it goes through the fish, or how it hooks them, or what when I'm missing fish, where the teeth marks on their bite, how did I miss that one? And I look at the bite marks and kind of investigate how that came out of the fish's mouth. So you're always thinking of little improvements to do to the hook to make it stick them a little better or easier, or cam into them. Like I get the little rhino head, but it actually works really well. It actually causes the bait to kind of do that cam action when you set the hook. It plops out of their mouth, but as it does, it puts the point into their mouth. Like that, so the head's designed that way, but the hooks are kind of the same way. So this new trailer hook I can't say anything about it because it's so cool. But
look at him smiling.
I got a torch out and I did some bending. You gotta torch them. You can't just bend a TGW hook. You gotta.
Okay.
They send me some hooks to play with, and then I kind of heat them up and bend them and squinch them, so I get them in cold water so I can actually use them. And I actually made this weird bend in a hook, and it actually made it like incredible. I played with the bend a little better, and then. But that's coming out. We got a really good drop shot hook. I can't wait to see the drop shot hook coming out soon, and a flipping hook. The flipping hook's gonna be insane.
Talk to me.
Oh my gosh.
Talk to me, Aaron.
Well, it's similar to the original flipping hook that we have now with Gummy, but I made a few changes. It's almost like the one I made originally.
I remember.
The one before the BMF, the one I used to bend.
That you were and you were snelling.
I was snail tying. That was like 20 some years ago at Delta. I remember at Delta we had this giant fish, and but that was a hook that I got the shape out of. But this is the one that is coming soon. Is really like the first one I bent. Because I gave Andre a hook and he had a bunch of them made and came up with the BMF, but he made some parts of it a little bit different than I had it originally. And
that was a game changer, that BMF, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's really similar to that, but I think I improved it a little bit. So I've always been trying to make that hook. That's a bend I've used forever. I'm trying to make it a little better. And then there's a lot of neat stuff coming out. Picasso's got, I mean, it seems like a lot of my sponsors have at least 3 or 4 or 5 things coming out this year that are new.
So what role do you get to play? I understand you just explained the role of development in the hooks, but how about the role of development in other baits, like from Realis or
Realis? We got there's a lot of things.
Picasso.
There's a lot of things.
But how do you play a role in development? So what do you do?
Well, I go to Japan every year. It's actually in my contract, but I have no complaints about going to Japan every year. I can't fight, but they put me in business. I'm not going to ask for first class. It's like $10,000 each way. So I get business class. If you guys fly a long distance, the planes are big.
Unacceptable.
They have like, well, how many movies are on that plane? Like 200?
I don't know.
You got like 200 movies, and you got like a 15-inch screen or something in the back of the seat. So yeah, it's comfortable. So I don't complain. I just watch like 6 movies going and 6 movies coming back. I can't sleep on an airplane, but I go there every year, and I spend like 7 or 8 days there every year. And I've been there probably 6 times now, and I think 3 or 4 or 3 times with Realis. So we go there, and a lot of it is like R&D, research development stuff. They have a phenomenal facility. It's the largest manufacturer in Japan is Realis.
Okay, so there's baits in a tank, and you're watching how they behave.
They have a tank that's like, I think it's 80 or 85 feet long.
Now, are you just freaking out when you go there? Is this like way too much for you?
I saw their old place, and this new place is that's why it's the largest place in Japan, manufacturer in Japan for lures. But the tank is like 85 feet long and 16 feet deep.
But you got to be like a little elf in Santa's workshop.
10, 12 feet wide, and it's got like 16-inch or 14-inch glass, the acrylic glass on it. And it's all window on one side. So you can walk in front of a 16-foot tank that's 85 feet long. It's got pillars. It's got beams here and there. I wish I had one, dude. But I think it was well over $1 million to build that tank. So it was upwards of like $2 million to build it.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. It's got like he's got like alewives in it and some other fish, no bass, but that's just for aesthetics. They have a lot of trout in there, a couple, like 3 different kinds of trout. But it's pretty neat. And we just test baits all day. Like I'll go down below and watch a bait swim. We'll videotape baits through the glass, and then you can walk along the bait along the edge of the tank. I mean, it's a big facility. It's pretty neat. It's kind of down the lower section. But we got a new square bill coming out with Realis.
What does it do? That's actually, why is he's going through my questions? How are you doing this?
I know what everybody wants to hear. So we got a new
He's a
new
pro
jerk
angler.
we're working on. And they have some new baits, their little tailspin. I forget the name of it. I'm blank. It's actually a really cool bait. They have some new stuff. The tail spinner. I should know that one. I'm probably gonna get in trouble with David, but
hey, you remember back to the square bills? Yeah, of course you know I want to tie this in with that big tank, the testing tank, and you talked about the new square bill, but you of course know the magic of the old wood square bills, like a Bagley, and the hunting. That beautiful hunting action. I have never been able to see that duplicated the way it. Now you can get custom balsa baits to do that.
Yeah.
I've never been able to see that duplicated as authentically in a plastic bait. Have you ever worked on anything like that, Aaron?
I wish I had more time in Japan. I was working on that for 2 days straight. You have no idea how much time I spent on that. I know what makes it do it. It's a lot of it's there's a breakaway on top of the bill. There's the angle of the bill. There's the fatness of the bait. A lot of it has to do
and the angle of the line tie, of course, too.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's huge. That's actually one of the easier parts to get right.
Sure.
Actually, the bill's tricky. The bill shapes. You can have a break on top, or have the bill goes up and it has the bill actually goes like this back. A lot of the old baits did that. And it's actually a lot of the baits nowadays, a lot of them doing that in the, like, I don't want to say them, but they put it into the bait itself, the design to make the water break a certain way. It's I understand that part really well. Like, how water moves around lures and stuff. And even though have a lot of knowledge on that, I've played with so many crankbaits over the years, customize them and stuff.
And I do too. I mean,
it's hard. It's hard to come up with that. I mean, we had like some basic models that they have of a basic shape, and you start filing the bill here, cutting the bill there. We actually had a guy that could actually make more of them with different weighting on them, and we got one that actually was pretty neat. We try to make them different. It's hard to make a square bill different if you think about it, because it's kind of a round in the front and kind of tapers back, and it just comes through stuff good, that design. It's kind of hard to get away from it too much and still have a good square bill. So but it should be. I haven't seen the newest prototype yet, but I should be actually. Every day I kind of look for a box, to tell you the truth, because I think it'll be here any day.
But the fact of agree or disagree with me that there has not been a plastic square bill mass produced
like that
hunts like a wood square bill. Is there or isn't there? Am I missing something?
Not really. No. I mean, it is kind of weird. It might be it's hard to say the high buoyancy of it. Maybe the bait tends to float higher than a plastic bait. It just reacts different in the water.
But do you remember some Bagleys? They would actually violently zigzag. I mean, God, I know certain manufacturers have tried that with plastic baits, but they blow out. They blow.
Yeah, they get on there. Yeah, just don't do it the same. I don't know. I will work on that for you. How's
please,
that?
yes, please.
There's got to be a way.
I say that.
Yeah, could you get on that, please?
What's going to need to happen is you and I are going to need to go to Japan. I think that will solve this. Let's go design a square bill. All right.
Japan's awesome.
This just in: the Barry McGarren Martin square
bill. We have
bill.
a bait that on the shop blade, new shop blade. I don't know if you guys have seen that one yet. It's actually got an aluminum blade on it.
No.
Have you
seen Shockwave?
Yeah, we got one with aluminum blade on it, and right now we're selling them, but we're actually gonna make it a little more, because right now it literally catches them like it's like you said, the wandering. I've never seen a bladed jig wander like the new Pro Shot. Oh, it really does. It goes side to side.
And now it's a chatter chicken. That's what you're talking about.
Shop blade, shop blade bladed jig.
Okay,
but I've used them all. I got them all. Believe me, I got all the ones out there. I've had some of I've had some made that are really awesome. I guess like the jackhammer, but probably even better, like that type of one customized.
Yeah.
I've done that for years, and they're good. But this one is the most effective one I've ever thrown. I've done a lot of videos on it, and I honestly think it will outfish any of the other bladed jigs out there.
And it hunts.
The thing that hunts, but it hunts the whole time. Like I'm gonna tell you, 3/8 does it. The 1/2 ounce right now, for some reason, doesn't hunt as well as a 3/8, but we're gonna figure that out.
Well, I agree.
Because the heavier weight. But yeah, you can make the bill a little bit bigger, or we got do it. But the 3/8 ounce is insane.
What's the trailer you're putting on it?
What trailer allows it to hunt?
We're making a trailer right now, but right now, multiple trailers. Anything from a swim Senko to multiple 4 and 6 inch swim baits.
Do you like that Zako deal?
Sometimes I like a lot of tail on it, and then sometimes like this time of year, I actually catch them on at this time of year, cold water, and a lot of times I go to a real thin, like almost like a split tail trailer or a small fluke trailer, or a tiny fluke, or something that's tiny that kicks faster. But as you get into the water gets in the mid 50s, I go to a much bigger trailer, start hiking it up to more like a swim bait trailer or something bulkier.
What's the most common line size you throw that on? Do you use heavy line like I do, or a lot of guys do? Or
I average 18 pound.
Okay.
Sunline makes them really good. I use the Sniper Super FC Sniper, and I use a lot of 18 because it's not 20 and it's not 16. You know how 16 and 20 is a big difference, and it actually is really cool how Sunline has done that with a lot of their lines. When 18's actually been one of my favorites, is you can't hardly break it. Even when you snag, you have to go get it out. So it's plenty strong enough, but you get a little more line on your spool when you cast. I've even done braid with the fluoro leader a lot this year, especially when they're biting good. I'll do like 30-pound braid with a 20-pound leader. Fluoro leader, I do that. I do that a lot. I do that a lot. Jig fishing.
With the vibrating bait?
It's nice, yeah. It's nice. Wow. I've been doing that a lot. It's straight. A lot of times, if you're in grass, you do straight braid, but it's nice on it when you're casting really far, especially making really long distance casts, and you're maybe fishing grass or grass beds, and you get bound up on a long cast, or if you cast really far, you cast your spool off. If you have 18 or 20-pound line, you can unless you're using a large reel, which we don't want to do that. I use the Shimano Metaniums, 8.5 to 1. I can throw a 20-pound off of it. And you can get the deeper spools, but anytime you do that, I mean, if I was going to use straight fluoro, I'd use like a Corrado on it, a little larger spool. But I can use my smaller reels with, say, a 20 or 30-pound braid at 20-pound leader, and it's pretty neat. I mean, it's awesome when you get a bite. As far as feeling the bite, when you're trying to feel the blade go limp on you, or sometimes they come up and just kind of come in behind it and shark it.
Yeah.
And just eat it, and you don't feel it. And there's a lot of
They're
times
there,
it's like spring, or they're on beds, or they're pre-spawn or post-spawn, wherever they are. They come up behind and just grab it, and they'll swim and spit it. And there's only like a second or two that you have to nail them. And if you're in grass all day, it's just nice to be able to feel everything. And that's
sure
one of the reasons I do use a little bit stiffer rods than most people. I use unless I'm using braid, fluoro, or straight braid, I'll use like a softer, like a medium or medium heavy. But if I'm using straight fluoro casting, I'll use a heavier action. Most guys I see.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You gotta be able to stick them. You gotta be able to stick them, and you don't want there. I mean, there is the reason guys use softer rods is the fish gets the bait a little easier. So if he goes, there's less tension on he gets more basically when he goes to suck the bait, and he can suck it in a little easier. There's the rod gives a little bit, but you gotta kind of put in how far you're casting, and that's where I kind of get really technical, but it does make a difference. There's kind of what we call dialing it in. Sometimes you want to, if I'm making really short casts, I want a softer rod. I'll use like a medium or medium heavy instead of a heavy. If I'm fishing grass, making casts with straight fluoro, I'll use like a heavy rod. But then with the braid fluoro leader, I use that softer rod. I guess I should write a book on it someday.
Yeah, absolutely, you should.
Please.
Yes, thank you. I mean, because
send that draft over and we'll edit it for you.
So you're kind of a jerk, Aaron, because you're answering all my questions already. But
I got a question for you.
Go ahead, JP.
Right.
In Japan, did you fish that one lake they have? What is
Biwa.
it?
Biwa.
Biwa?
Yeah.
That one lake.
That one lake. They only have one.
Yeah, I've been to Biwa like 4 or 5 times now, and that's all. There's other lakes in Japan that I guess they're harder to fish, and there's complications sometimes. I guess maybe it's like Biwa is kind of weird too. Biwa is just really easy. It's kind of like a St. Clair or something. It's just everything's easy to get to. There's really nice places around the lake. I guess a lot of the other places in Japan are kind of remote, and it's a good lake. You don't catch a lot of fish there. I mean, if you catch 8 to 12 fish, that's a really good day, and that's like 2 guys fishing. So you don't get a lot of bites, but just about everything you catch is over 5 or 6 pounds.
Wow.
We got our buddy Paul Benson watching.
Okay.
And he wants to know, do you want the BPT to go to Lake Biwa?
Ooh.
Is that something you think about, or just the test tank?
That'd be hard. I mean,
a fly-in trip.
Yeah, you'd have to get rigs over there. It'd be interesting. Oh yeah, I'd love it. It'd be actually, you wouldn't get a lot of fish, but it'd be some big weights. I'd like to see that. Like I said, anywhere you go, I'd like to. If somewhere different like that, I'm excited about it. I don't get scared. I'm
Would you
excited.
win that with your extensive? I go to Japan 3 times a year knowledge.
Little home lake advantage.
They try to get me to go twice a year. I said no way.
Hey, let's get back to off-season Aaron. I want to go back to off-season Aaron because I want to talk about tackle prep with you. Okay, when you and I were talking on the phone the other day, you were taking the plastic off of a bunch of boxes you just got. And you told me you were going from bags to boxes. What does that mean? You're going from bags to boxes?
Over the years, I've done both. I usually do a mixture of both. So bags are like duffel bags. I usually go on the internet and surf around. I know Shimano's got some good ones, but you can find really good duffel bags that are waterproof. Not that they need to be, but in case you have some plastics that, sometimes they can drip or get oil in your truck. So nowadays, the boxes didn't really work in the past because you had too much air getting in them.
Okay.
And
what does that do? What did the air do?
Well, you have salt. Most of the lures we have and bait, soft plastics, most of them have salt in them. And so it's so humid out here, even in a truck or camper or wherever you store it, it's going to start sucking moisture in from the atmosphere, the air. So
okay.
So now they have some. That's why I use bags. I bought thousands of cellophane bags in the past, just like plain cellophane bags, which are the ones that are impermeable to like gas or wherever you put them. Nothing can get through them. But it's still hard. It's hard to find stuff. So pretty much everything in my boat's been converted to boxes. And it's very easy. Like, you know when you're getting low on something, you know you need some of this color or this bait's getting low. It's
And that's
really
everything. Soft plastics,
inventory.
hard baits, everything.
Yes, inventory is so much quicker and easier. So my truck tackle, I've been trying to get done for the last 2 or 3 years, and I've had my boat done for most. I have some bags, I mean, it's hard to get rid of all your bags, but I'm like 90% boxes now, and I've been like that for 3 years now. The truck, though, it seems like I get my stuff all organized, and my truck stays the same. So this year, I ordered a bunch of waterproof boxes, and I'm gonna try to convert all my extra tackle, which is a lot, into boxes.
Okay.
And I mean, you can imagine you have everything, and it's marked. You can mark it with a. I only use labels. I just use a pen, permanent marker, and you can refresh it, or if you want to change that box, if you're thinking about doing this, you can just take alcohol and a towel and rub the pen marker off, the permanent marker off.
Yeah,
So
that's what I write on my boxes.
Yeah, it's just easier. I just write whatever it is on there, 4-inch, whatever, Roboworm, but it's so much easier to keep all your stuff. And if you need something, or somebody, I guess MLF, they can't really borrow it from you unless you get eliminated. But if you need something like that night, it saves you like incredible amount of time instead of digging through bags and trying to find the color and that particular bait. So I'm just trying to conserve time and consolidate. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I try to do every year for like 30 years.
Will it give you more peace of mind? Is it going to give you
It'll
peace of
It'll
mind?
give me more time to worry about other things, go for runs. Like, I like to run every day if I can, but
Yeah.
I get too busy sometimes. I'm on the road in the camper. I have to make dinner. I have to make my lunch for the next day. I like to eat, so I eat a lot.
I was telling these guys earlier, and I want to put this into perspective, that I run about a 9-minute mile, and you run a 7-ish, and so you're like a cheetah. You are kind of like I mean, come on, dude. I'm like, for my frame,
I run eight's my pace right now. That's an easy pace. So I guess my race pace would probably be. It seems like when I run a lot, I get right to about a 7 or a high 6 for like a 5K or something, or a 10K. But I mean, I don't know. I eat a lot too. I'm on board of gaining weight and losing weight, and I don't like losing weight. So
when you eat shitty, what do you eat? What's shitty eating to Aaron Martens? Unhealthy. What's unhealthy?
About 2 or 3 times a year, I might go to McDonald's.
That's it.
5 or 6 times, or
do you hide it from your family? Are you like shamed?
No, my family's worse than I am about that. Much worse. Of course, Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell. So I had Taco Bell last week. We had Taco Bell. My wife didn't want to
What'd
cook.
you get?
My wife's like a phenomenal cook, probably one of the best cooks in the country, honestly.
Nice.
She actually baked a bunch of goods for my sponsors. Very nice.
Awesome.
She actually spent 2 days baking, baked hundreds of different kinds of cookies, decorated them all pretty, and they're so delicious. I can't tell you. I only had 3 cookies so far.
Your favorite talk show would love a box of those.
I know. We should have you send you a box. Snickerdoodles, but that's junk food for me normally. It's like she'll make cookies, and it's really good. She uses all fresh ingredients, all butter and real stuff.
The real deal.
We're pretty much organic, eat healthy. So, but that for me is probably eating bad would be like a few times a good junk food, which I call McDonald's or Taco Bell, but very rarely. I mean, once every 2 months, I might go somewhere like that. I'm pretty strict. I make my own food, and I'll bring bars, or I don't even eat bars that much, but I try to have nuts, seeds, whatever.
Yeah,
dried
I've seen you on the road. You stock up, dude.
I eat a lot. I have 2-3 bags of food with me in the truck, like big shopping bag fulls, and I like a variety. So I figure it's healthy. But I try to keep my weight up. A lot of people try to keep their weight up.
Are you still on that pepper and what's your deal?
Oh, yeah.
The pepper and peanut butter.
Pepper and peanut butter.
The last 3 weeks, I've probably gone through a jar of cayenne. I put on everything. I just about
everything. You ever put it in your Roboworms?
I got challenged at we went to, what was that place called? The Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
My daughter gets the second or third to the hottest one, which is really hot. It's the mango. What is it called? Mango. What's that salsa you get? The one at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Mango
habanero.
Mango habanero. Yeah, that's a good. Actually, it tastes good. But I agree with her. But we got the hottest one, and I could eat it. I could just drink it out of the bowl.
JP had the hot one time. I almost had to do the Heimlich
If
on
somebody
him.
did that, they'd die probably.
That's crazy.
It's cayenne pepper. You eat it all the time.
Wow.
So the spice, it's like it just build a tolerance to it. It's good for your heart.
Is
for your
that
blood.
is that what it is? Seriously, cayenne pepper is good for your heart and blood.
I do something like this, like 3 a week, probably 3 real beers. And I do that for health too. I've read about it, and it's good for a lot of your cardio and your blood work.
The beer.
A beer, not 2 or 3 though.
A beer, like or a glass of wine.
Like that, I open this one warm. I let it chill, or a glass of wine.
Right,
sulfate
same
if you
thing.
want. Or I guess if you leave the bottle open for a while, the sulfates escape. They say, but I'm not sure about that.
I prefer Coca-Cola. I
don't do that. I don't think
that's my guilty pleasure, man. I love the Coca-Cola.
I'm bad. I'll open a can and have like 2 sips of it and throw it away.
But it tastes so good, doesn't it?
Drank a whole liter.
That's exactly what I say. Oh, it tastes so good.
Oh, it's so good.
I dump it out.
I love the Coca-Cola.
We did have a viewer ask.
Yes.
Do you have a fishing workout?
A fishing
Is
workout?
there an Aaron Martens fishing workout?
I don't know. Throwing a crankbait or spinnerbait all day.
That's the workout.
Ken Hoover was a fitness guy. I don't know if you guys remember Ken Hoover at athletes.com.
Okay.
Athletes, eat to compete thing. He's really cool. He's a trainer for football, little kids and stuff, and he's into nutrition. He actually designed something that was actually pretty cool. It was actually took a broken, when you break a fishing rod, he'd put an eye hook on the part that, cut it off about, say, 2.5 feet long, use the handle part, and then put an eye hook in the end of it, like glass it in or whatever, tape it and glass it or super glue it, whatever.
Okay.
And then you put like a band to that, like a workout band.
Yeah.
So you can change the weight on it. And then he'd put where you can connect it to something and you can sit there and kind of do backwards, the opposite. Because, you think about when you fish, majority of the time you're not catching them, so you're not like pulling. You're kind of doing the same repetitive motion, which is you're supposed to do an opposite motion for every motion you do. But fishing, you get all out of whack. If you think about it, you're doing way more of one thing than the other. So that's where a lot of injuries and over the years, the carpal tunnel or whatever, the tendon damage you get from doing that is, even how you hold the rod. When I hold the rod and reel, and I'm working with around even the reels and stuff, how to make them where you can hold like they're more comfortable. And hopefully Shimano, it sounds like they want to do some stuff, but
awesome.
To be able to move your hands, like I like to move my hands. I cut my triggers off my reels, my rods.
I've had conversations with you on the phone while you're actually doing that while we're talking.
And that's so I can move my hands comfortably easier because you don't really need a trigger. There's no reason for a trigger on a bait cast. If you know how to fish, you shouldn't need a trigger. Maybe a little nub, just a little nub. Yeah, you hold your reel, and you might have a nub just to hold on to a little bit. But that's all you need. But that way you can roll your hands back. If you notice, if you ever watch, even when I'm working at jerkbait, or a lot of times I'll open my fingers up. It's hard on you all day long. I can tell when you start getting that tension feeling, because I like fitness stuff. I read a lot. That's probably my wife reads a lot. She's actually taught me a lot. And you can actually feel the part when you start pushing it, or you're pushing injury or doing damage, basically. And there's a lot of things you have to be careful.
I'm feeling it here now on the
I always-
long
I always-
casts, the long overhands. I'm
Well,
feeling it.
I like to extend. You don't want to extend your elbow ever.
Not all the way. Never extend the elbow all the way.
Just
Don't
keep it bent.
hyperextend. No.
And elbow stays in, and you use just a forearm, but you always want to keep your arm kind of bent at the end. You never want to do this.
Okay.
That helps a lot. That helps a ton with like a lot of elbow injuries. And then I know I've worked out quite a bit, and that helps a lot. Like right now, I'm going to my wife's gym. It's like a amp. It's called AMP, and that's where it's like boot camp. I wish I could go 3-4 days a week. I was telling you about it. It's phenomenal. I wish I could go 3 or 4 days a week all year long.
You said Leslie can kick everybody's ass now.
They call her animal over there.
Aaron, is there
she smokes everybody. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Is there something
she
for
smokes
the?
me.
Is there
What's
something
that?
for the shoulder? Like I get a lot of shoulder pain throwing a jerkbait early season, and then switching over to a frog, fast twitching baits like that.
Shoulder would be like right in there.
Yeah.
Usually.
Dr. Aaron.
What should I do there, Dr. Aaron?
I do a lot of stretches, dude. Like right now, I started stretching it. There's like so many little stretches you can do. This one kind of helps the forearm, but it can help a little bit when you do it right. It'll kind of pull back in here a little bit, but there's like reverse, like hold a platter behind your head, kind of put your hands straight up and back, put your thumbs back towards the wall, like my wall right behind me.
Okay.
You can kind of turn your pinkies up and then put your arms straight up like that.
We're all doing this.
Yeah.
That's like that'll stretch the back and the everywhere.
I feel it.
Can we get some workout music?
It hurts a little bit. It'll hurt you the next day if you do it for like right now.
Yes.
You do it a bunch.
Workouts with Aaron.
It's like Saturday morning with Galad.
The shoulder pain's a tricky one. I don't know what kind of pain it is and how long it's been. If it flares up and goes away, or
I think it was a hook set injury. That's what it was.
Yeah.
From
That
like 4
happens.
years ago.
Well,
It was
that
cold
happens.
in the morning, and first bite I got, I felt something.
Yeah,
But now it flares up in the
not
spring
warmed
every year.
up. Yeah, that's usually when most injuries do happen. Even if you fish a lot, like that first initial morning, if you get bit on like really quick in the morning, you like get the excitement, you're not like moving yet. Hey, that's when I think a lot of stuff does happen.
Well,
Or
and
if you haven't
when
fished-
it's a big one and you didn't think it was a big, it was like 30 degrees in the morning and it was a good fish. And I didn't think it was big and it was with braid, so it didn't move.
God.
You know,
Yeah,
It was a stump, and it hurt me too because I set into it.
It's a big
Can hurt
stump.
you. Anything like that, where you pull into something hard. Yeah, I don't know about a shoulder. That could be. I do have a little pain. I don't usually have any pain, but I have a little bit right here. But it's kind of going away with maybe the boot camp I've been doing. It kind of 6 months. It's been hurting, and it's like you said, where I think I set the hook kind of awkward. I was in an awkward position. I kind of pulled like just a little bit different than I should have. I maybe backhanded it, and I probably popped something, a little tendon stretch there. And but it's one of those issues where I think just rest, and you know what helps me the most on those ones that don't go away is ice and heat. You can't beat it. Even I don't take ibuprofen, but sometimes on those ones that don't go away, if you do a combination of ice and heat and take maybe 2 ibuprofen, or like double up an ibuprofen just like once or twice, and sometimes it actually make the pain go away.
Have you tried the
And then you
CBD
got-
oils
you wanna
for that,
beat it.
Aaron?
No, I haven't. I don't really have any pain. I really I move too much and I do too many different exercises to have any pain. I think. It's like
Good.
you stay in motion, it's good for you. I don't sit a lot. This is the most I've sat in a long time.
And what are you, 47, 48?
47.
47. Well, I'm 51, so 3 more years, it's gonna start hitting you.
Yeah, a lot more hair than that.
You're doing all right.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, how excited are you to be back with your old friend G. Loomis?
Hey, you heard about that? Huh?
I did. Your old
It's,
buddy, G. OG.
It's exciting. I started with them when I was a kid. That's
I
funny.
know.
It's funny is I bought Shimano reels. That's why I saved my money up for when I was like 14, 15 in high school. Even in high school still, I was buying Shimano. I actually bought some old Shimano rods back then. And of course, I loved their Loomises. That was my first probably 5 or 6 like rods I saved for. I had money as a Loomis rod, 783, 844s, 782, all those ones. And I had all Loomises forever. And then I don't know, as I got doing better, you get sponsors. A lot of times rod sponsors come to you real quick. And I had a guy that I really respected, had a lot. I knew pretty well, Phoenix Rods, and I ended up getting with Phoenix Rods back then. And it makes me wonder if I would have stayed with Shimano and what would have happened. But
There'd be probably the fishing rod industry would be revolutionized.
No.
Yeah.
But they're willing to make some. We're gonna play with it. It's exciting because Shimano is such good stuff, as we all know.
I hope
love
that they
Shimano.
use you. I hope they use
They
and
said- they
abuse
said- they
you
actually
and
said
your
they
knowledge.
actually one of the reasons they actually want me my input on some stuff. So I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about that because the rods themselves are awesome.
Okay, so
They're
let's
incredible.
change a fishing rod. Let's change a fishing rod. What's the first thing? I know that you might get rid of the trigger. All right? You're a
Well,
modifier. You're a
not
tinker.
completely, but not completely.
You're gonna make it a nub, old stubby
Mm-hmm.
McGillicuddy.
The study, the width and the height is important, and the thickness of the trigger.
Talk
Yeah.
to me about the handle. The handle of a fishing rod. What's the
Well,
perfect handle?
Yeah, I have really no, you can't tell. I have my hands are quite large. Definitely on the double extra large side.
You know
I
what
don't
they say about people with large hands, right?
I got giant feet too.
You wear big gloves.
Big gloves.
Yes. Yes. Giant
Yeah.
feet, big hands, big gloves.
14 foot. And so
Big
I have
shoes.
big hands. So I have to. It's hard for me because compared to what most people like, I might like a slightly bigger handle, but a lot of rods out there are actually too big for my hands.
Okay.
So something's wrong. So there'll be some. I think I have some maybe some things that help them. Keepers, bait keepers.
But did I miss it, or did you? What would you do with the handle?
The spinning handle. Well, I don't want to say too much. I'm gonna give it to somebody who's listening. The spinning rod handles the big one. The spinning handles, you know, there's
Spies.
there's
There
one
might
I've been,
be someone listening.
there's a spinning rod handle I've been playing with, and nobody has it yet.
But that one that you came up with for Megabass, where you turn the handle upside down, that was awesome.
The handle is forward, so the forward handle is forward of the reel, which to me was always important. Yeah, but nobody really nailed the right shape of it.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, that shape we have now is like kind of what Megabass we came up with years ago. But over the years, I've found changes, different, a little bit different shape in that one.
Okay. Have you ever messed around with pistol grip handles? I mean,
Yeah.
I know way back in the day, but
Pistol grips.
yeah, but
I have a few of them. I always thought about coming out like, I don't know if I'd make it necessarily a pistol or normal. The handle is actually at like a 30 or 40 degree angle, right?
Right, I'm with you. That's
Yeah,
exactly.
Then the handle is like a little pistol, but it's at an angle a little bit like
Yes,
this.
and maybe like about 8 inches.
And then I've seen straight ones that are straight off the back, but the little pistol I fished with pistol grips, and you could shake a bait real good, and you have a lot of feel, or throwing a crankbait or a small spinnerbait or something small. You know, usually it's something a smaller size. You don't want to throw something like a 3/4 or 1 ounce spinnerbait. Like a 1/4 ounce buzzbait or a 3/8 ounce spinnerbait or something like that would be good. 1/4 ounce stuff, small stuff. It was kind of cool.
And it was just awkward though when you were like fishing a jig or a plastic worm, and you had to do the
the walleye hook set.
over the head.
Because you can't really
Can't get it up under your arm.
can't really two-hand it very well. And I always tell people like I fish with high schoolers and stuff, and the handle is important. Not to try to cast with one hand. I know a lot of guys do that, but be macho, throw with one hand. There's no that's not really necessary. You don't do that, right? 2 hands.
Right,
Use
yeah,
a pencil.
I do it occasionally. Like
use
with
both hands, both muscles. I see guys do one hand sometimes. I do it too sometimes, but
We all
especially
do,
short
but the
cast-
majority of the
short
time.
casting. But you try to kind of use both your arms, and it takes off a lot of the use off of one arm. So
Do you
that
feel
one
your
hand thing's for the hog trough.
Yeah, it's the hog trough casters.
yeah,
Fancy sports show stuff.
like shooting it,
Shooter.
yeah. Shooter.
You got any sports shows lined up this year? You doing some seminars?
I got some maybe up in the Pittsburgh area, possibly. I think there might be one coming up. I'm not sure about that. I got to check on the date on it. I forget what the name of that show is. I could probably get it off my phone. The Fun and Sun.
I'm going to give you a great opening line that I learned from our friend
Dallas
Mark
Fort Worth.
Zona. You ready?
What's up?
So, Zona taught me this a long time ago, and he said, Pat, whenever you're doing a seminar deal, always open up with the great white shark seal analogy. Do you know what that is, Aaron?
It's a breaching shark on a seal.
Yeah. Talk about a great white shark eating a seal, and you got everybody's attention. Words from
All fishermen love that.
Words from the legend Mark Zona.
And you see a little 2-pound bass try to do the same move, and he can barely do what the great white does at like 2,000 pounds. You ever notice that? A bass sometimes will do it, and you're like, oh, that was an awesome strike. But the 2,000-pound fish doing the same thing on a seal.
Yeah.
like
Hackney said the same thing. He said if you like watching baby seals get eaten by sharks, you might like frog fishing.
Yeah, exactly. And Hackney wants to catch a shark on a flip stick, just so you know. That's a real thing.
I actually tried that once.
I mean, there's seriously a limit to how big of a shark you can catch. But yeah, I mean, those great whites, I don't think you can fish for them right now. They're protected still, aren't they? But those guys,
do it anyway.
They go after them on big. They used to catch them big tackle.
They like the 3/4 ounce
I don't think
vibrating jig.
Too well.
They hit the 3/4 ounce hunting vibrating jig, not the half or the 3/8, but the 3/4 hunts.
You'd have to have a Penn International on a flipping stick to catch a great white.
Exactly. Hey, you wanna tell me if you agree or disagree with this? That minds are crazy things, and we all have them. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah. Mine's it's. I always wonder how something smushy like that can be so amazing as far as what it's able to do.
And your mind, as far as a bass fisherman's mind is, there is no other mind like your mind.
I'm sure there are.
No, there's not. There's just stop it.
No, there's not. Nobody's alike. I mean, we're all. It seems like the fishermen, especially, we're all quite a bit different in a lot of ways. I think we all are. Like you're different.
Yeah, well, that's what makes us unique. Well, thank you. I accept that as a compliment.
Yeah, it is a compliment.
People say that about him all the time.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
different.
I'm your typical bass fishing talk show host. I mean, I look like a typical Southern bass guy. If you look at me,
Yeah.
I work at the Sunoco. You know what I mean? If you look at me close,
You live in Southern Cal a little bit.
a little
for
bit.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But mines are crazy things, man, and they play tricks on us, don't they?
Yep.
They play tricks on us sometimes.
And they get older too, which you try to eat the right food, so that makes your hopefully brain stay a little sharper.
Brain health
exercise,
food. Yeah.
exercise and food, very important.
Keeps you smart.
Stay away from the fast food and alcohol.
But especially on the water. When
They
we're
work
on
differently, yeah.
Oh my God, the water can just play tricks on you, man. Like you catch one fish, and you could think it could screw your whole day up. It can either make your whole day amazing,
make your whole day really awesome, or not get that one bite and make your day suck.
Give me an example of a fish tricking your mind.
Ooh, so many, they do it so many different ways. Eating the bait related up to the boat, maybe biting something you wouldn't think they'd bite, or doing something weird and one eats it. Just like, what? They do that constantly. I was just going to say that probably some of the best anglers out there, the guys are sort of instinctive. They don't think, they just do it. And I know when I've had my really great years where I've had this unbelievable fortune, you're doing stuff that was right at the right moment. Like you weren't waiting an hour, what that hour can cost you big time. And then one of the times I haven't done, like I'd say this last year, I won one and I did good, but I had a lot of tournaments where I was off a little bit, maybe even a half, who knows? It might be time, or it might be the choices of bait or area I was fishing. So that's the hardest part about the sport, is sometimes even feeling like not thinking about it, but the weather is a little different. The water is different, and the time of year that you're used to can throw you off really bad. And there's so many variables to it. At bass fishing, that's why I say bass fishing is it's extremely complicated to be consistent at it for long periods of time.
With the way your mind works, Aaron, do you overcomplicate things sometimes? Or are you good at?
No, I mean recently, I carry way too much stuff, but I try to stay simple. But there's also staying too simple. Too simple is not really good either. If you have, there's different jerk baits. There really is a lot of different things that sometimes one might work way better than another one. Certain colors can make a big difference. There's just so much.
But I think as a tinkerer,
my tackle is very complicated compared to anybody I know. Some of the guys that I know, I think Jake Wheeler's got a pretty crazy tackle. I look at his tackle. He's organized different than I am. I use him as a reference because he's doing so well. But he has his stuff stored differently. But he's got the same variety like I have. Like he's got a lot of the same baits that I use, and I use a lot of Reala stuff, Picasso stuff. There's also, some certain swim baits I use or trailers I really like, and there are certain things but we all end up using. A lot of us use the same stuff. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But
because they work.
Most of the guys that Edwin Evers, they're not really that simple. They may say they're simple or as far as tackle, but if you start going into their stuff, not really. There's nothing simple about it.
Gotcha.
But mine is it's overdone, and I'm trying to get to the point now. I don't know. I got little tiny crankbaits I carry with me first. Once in a while, if things are right, the right conditions, the right day, you can crush them on it. But it never comes up. And there's a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Like, dude,
But if you don't have it, you'll have a panic attack.
I'll have 20 rods in the boat, and I'll have just I'll have 300 crankbaits in my boat, but I'll throw the same crankbait all the time where I'm fishing.
No, it's still harder for a touring guy because you just don't know the conditions you're going or size of the fish.
Right. I mean, that's the difference. I mean, I'm obviously not a touring guy or a professional bass fisherman.
I was saying that's one of the things I've been trying to do every year for the last 20 years is simplify my tackle as far as colors. What colors do I really not use throughout the year? There's certain colors that just seem like I never use them. They just don't seem like I need them.
When I saw you, when we were hanging out at the Classic and you opened up your rod locker and you had about 6 zillion red crankbaits tied on.
Mm-hmm.
A whole rod locker full of red crankbaits. Just red crankbaits. I'm not kidding you.
They're actually working. They're working really well. I was just in the wrong area. I was like, fishing like.
But you had 15 of them tied on.
Yeah, I had a Real trap or a vibration or the Realis when I was actually using a little vibration 68 and 64, and I had like 2 or 3 of those. They were working though. I was just in the wrong. That's a perfect example of being.
But didn't that drive you nuts? Okay, so here's the thing. They're eating red crankbaits, right, Aaron? They're eating red crankbaits, but wait a minute. You got 16 red crankbaits tied on in your locker. Did that not confuse you?
No, that makes it easier.
Tell me. Help me. It would confuse the hell out of me.
I don't know why I had so many tied. I don't know if you're exaggerating a little bit, but I had other
12.
baits. I have my little foam my lid, and I'll have, it was probably going to be the right conditions for it. If, a lot of times I'll throw white, the same time I'll throw red, and this like darker conditions. I tend to like a white color.
But they were all red, but different sizes and different bill lengths and different so that computes. Okay, so I need to go in the rod locker, get number 3 with the medium-sized bill that is 2 3/4 inches long because this will work best on this rip-rap area of the lake that I'm on right now. Is that what's
everywhere?
Item number 26.
Item number 26, inventory 3, dual Realis, CB3, 6A, DC. Throw this now on Rip Rap.
They're probably all different gear ratio reels too, I'm assuming.
I still use mostly 8.5 to 1s, but I got some 7.4 to 1s I throw in there. Still a gear ratio.
You love that fast reel for cranking.
Yeah, I have it all tied on. Our water here in Birmingham, Logan Martin, the day before yesterday was 58 degrees when I pulled the boat off.
Wow.
It's like, it should be 48. So things are kind of weird still. And the fish are acting like it's 48. It's really weird.
Interesting. Hey, I want to remind everybody, I'm being told to remind everyone right now, if you have questions for Aaron Martens, now is your time to load them up on the chat board. Load up some questions. JP High and College Danny, they're gonna send them our way over here. Hey, Aaron, do you remember we did an episode one time together and it was the analogy of bass fishing is like rock, paper, and scissors.
I don't know. That was one of the first ones I must have done.
Yeah. I mean, it was a long time ago. Time ago. So, I mean, the rock of bass fishing is the constant, right? That's the constant.
The rock will hit you. Yeah, it's always there.
Okay, I'm with you there. So what is the constant?
The rock is constant.
The rock is constant. What is the
Paper,
rock?
Scissors.
Okay, what's the rock in bass fishing? What is always constant in bass fishing?
Fish.
The fish, the bass.
Fish are, they're gonna do different things all the time. They don't do one thing all year, that's for sure.
But they're always
constantly
constant.
Doing something different, and they'll surprise you, even though you fish every day for 25 years. They'll still throw curveballs at you. But yeah,
that's the root. That's what you're going after. The bass.
Yep.
The bass is the rock.
Tracking the bass. I guess the bass. I wouldn't say the weather because the weather really doesn't have as much.
Well, the weather could be the scissors, because
it will definitely throw some major curves in it. Yeah.
I mean the scissors that's the curveball. The fish is the rock. The rock is the constant. It never changes. The scissors can rust. Right. The scissors can rust or become dull and change.
Would that be you or the fisherman, or would that be the tackle?
I don't know. I mean, that's why we're getting into this, man. I mean, and then think about the paper that covers the entire gamut of bass fishing. The paper that covers it.
The paper is the weather.
The paper is the weather. Okay.
Rock would be the water. Scissors would be the bass. I don't know.
Okay.
They cut you up. They cut you.
Yeah, they do cut you, don't they?
Oh man,
this is getting
weird,
weird,
they make you
man.
so mad sometimes.
No, this is real bass talk.
Getting
make
weird.
you so mad.
This is real bass talk, man. This is like rock, paper, scissors.
I got mad a couple times this year.
Tell me, like what?
Myself.
Like
table
what?
Rock, the second Table Rock.
What'd you do? Oh, that's the one where you came off of the W.
Yeah, well, I won the week before.
You got a 14 or a 15.
There's a lot of boats that started doing that by. It got a little more crowded because everybody knows what you're doing. A lot of guys didn't catch on that first week, but the second week, even though more guys were doing the kind of pattern I was doing, it changed that week. The water had fallen at that lake like Not 3 feet, maybe a foot and a half. It fell quite enough to displace a bunch of creatures. I always talk about articles. I should write a book on it. I always know this is what happens.
Yes.
West Coast tournaments at lakes, they do that all the time. When the water falls at Shasta even, or Orville or Castaic, the water will drop like 2-3 feet overnight sometimes. The fish will get real shallow. They'll move in certain areas and they'll wander the banks, like looking for anything that's displaced. And that shallow crankbait, I don't remember. I don't know if I watched that show, but I figured it out too late. But it was something that made me mad because we were fishing deep. Almost everybody was fishing deep, and I kind of hit the bank on one of those long casts with a deep diving crankbait and caught one on the second crank.
Okay, boom! That's where they told you.
And I kind of had some stuff going on in my head immediately. That was one of those fish that could win it for you, and I didn't listen. And I was running out of time, so I stuck with the deep diving crankbait. And I actually caught a lot of fish doing it, but I missed a ton. And I missed the cut by the final, second, third cut. I just barely missed it. I was like 15th, and I was only like a pound or two out. And I never did listen to what I was thinking this year. I messed up in that one. That was one of the ones that made me real mad. That one actually made me mad for like a month.
Wow.
Yeah, you were on.
Because we did the show.
They were all shallow. Everybody's fishing deep, and nobody was catching them as good.
Yeah.
So I didn't see hardly anybody fishing right. I just went to. I had so much stuff I could have fished.
Who won that one?
And I had
the second rock? Who won that? Do you know? I don't
have
remember.
A computer there. I should know that.
I don't remember. I should know it also,
either.
but I
Was
don't.
it Jacob Wheeler?
It might have been Wheeler, actually. I really think it might, because we might have had Jake on right after Aaron.
I think it was.
I think it was Wheeler.
And you were catching them. Weren't you catching some fish on deep spinner baits?
Yeah, I caught some deep. Yeah, on both weeks, but that shallow crankbait, and it was because the water had dropped. It was dropping like in the last couple of days. It started to fall, and anytime you're on a lake with a lot of shoreline rock or even cover, I was one of those ones that I felt really stupid afterwards. Like I was so mad at myself. I think I may have yelled at myself in the truck a few times.
Wow, it was that bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
It made me real mad because I think I could have won it on that. Because I know I had so many stretches, like I said, that I started thinking about all the stuff I could have fished, and I just didn't figure it out fast enough.
You seemed so confident about round 2. You really did after we talked to you.
Oh yeah, I was excited.
Yeah, you were catching them on the show.
It changed. That's just for instance.
You were. He was practicing.
You were
It
practicing.
was the same time of year. It was the same time of year. Nothing really. Weather changed that much. The water temperature is about the same, but the only thing that changed was the depth. The water had fallen like quite a bit. You could see the moss on the rocks, and it had started to drop. And it didn't calculate. All these years I fished, it didn't calculate. Maybe you should throw a crankbait on the bank for the next, And I did it a little bit of the jig and stuff. But I just didn't catch on. It was one of those tournaments where I think that's how it happened. That's how you get mad and you learn your lessons. And I was mad at myself, nobody else.
So the fish can make you mad. And that particular tournament made you mad. What makes
Not the fish that make you mad. You're mad at yourself. It's not the fish don't make
you made you mad.
You make yourself mad. Yeah, it's all your fault.
How do you make yourself calm? What calms Aaron?
Deep breaths, a good run. I usually run pretty hard and try to hurt myself.
Okay.
Try to give myself a heart attack, which makes me faster. That's how
I can relate.
That's how I do run the 7-minute miles. Try to get my heart rate way up, but that helps. And it's kind of, I don't know, think a lot.
What makes you anxious and nervous?
I don't play a lot of video games, and I don't play a lot of video games.
Oh yeah, you do.
The last couple weeks.
No, you play a lot of video games.
My little boy loves to play. What is that?
Yeah, Spencer told me you play tons of video games.
Been playing a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great example.
I'll take your mind off it. But if I'm on tour, it's pretty strict. It's like military bass fishing. It's like
boom, boot camp for bassing.
Yeah, it's boot camp bass fishing.
Boot camp bassing.
Pooping sometimes, stretching, running, and fishing in different orders.
Exactly.
A good deuce.
Multiple times.
Hey, what makes you anxious and nervous about fishing or even life? What makes Aaron Martens anxious or nervous?
Oh man, I guess not really much anymore. But I'd say one of the things that I'm kind of good at but the wind can be a big one in bass fishing. Wind. So wind can any time of year can really change things, and it might make me a little nervous about a starting area, or because it can change stuff so much. What are you looking for? Are you looking for?
Well, I was seeing if these guys were ready with questions. That was our primitive. That was my
So-
antsiness.
But yeah, nervousness. I don't know. I don't lose sleep. I usually sleep really good, and I'm usually pretty calm. Maybe, I guess because I wasn't always like that. Probably 10 years ago or 15 years ago is quite a bit different.
What
So I've
changed? What's the change?
Just been doing it so long, man.
Just getting older,
Been doing it so
smarter.
long. Like I said, you've been through so much. It's like just another rodeo, I guess. No, I get excited. I still get excited. I still love to fish. Obviously, you can tell. I mean, I'm going fishing tomorrow, and I went fishing a couple days ago.
Where are you going tomorrow?
Look at Martin.
Oh.
Because the lakes are really. I want to see what happened. The lake's got a lot. I might go to Lay Lake.
Oh,
you
hey,
know, I'm
don't
not sure.
forget when you go out tomorrow to put in the mail some of those tin things for me.
Ooh, tin sujin.
Yes,
Did I
write
say that?
yourself a note. And cookies. Leslie, cookies, and Pat's jigs.
Yeah, you gotta tell your guys watching the videos right now. If they're anywhere in the country, if you're not throwing a sujin, shame on you.
Tell everybody what a sujin is, because
Well,
some
this
people
time,
don't know.
A sujin is I made a bait called a scrounger, which is an old bait that I used to use when that's one of the first lures I ever caught bass on. So that's the first lure I caught 10-pound plus bass on was a scrounger back then.
Nice.
Love it.
So we used to cut the hooks off and take the old cadmium hook off as a saltwater lure, and I used to tie a gamakatsu to it back in the day with braid, and then super glue it. And that's what we did, or epoxy. So you did a cadmium hook with a saltwater hook, and you put a nice black nickel on there, and that's how we used to do it. And so I started making one. I called it the Scrounger for a while, the same name as the guy who passed away a long time ago. And I made it better. Obviously, I put a good hook in it, and we got the good build material and sold a lot of them. And then it got copied, like it usually happens in bass fishing. I was young then. I was like 30 or 20, whatever. So I just let it go after a few lost. Actually, with courts and stuff, I got tired of that.
Really? It went that far?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
30, probably spent about 30 grand on it, 40 grand.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So I gave up on that, and it wasn't a very good choice to just keep pursuing it. So I went and just forgot about it for a while. Well, I got with Picasso now, and we've had the Sujin is a new version of it, and he's been making it for 4 or 5 years now. But that bait is it's the same bait. It's got the same material, good material. It's got a good hook in it, but this time of year, it's really one of my favorite things to do with it is to go out with like 5-pound straight fluorocarbon or 10-pound braid a leader, whatever you want to do, and a lighter rod, like a 6.5 to 7 foot, like set me to fish for bigger trout. Maybe it's like a 1/4 ounce little spinners or something.
Okay.
So more of a trout rod, softer rod, 4 or 5 pound line, and the 1/8 ounce and the 3/16 I throw a lot this time of year. Right now I'm using a little tiny fluke, and it's just phenomenal. This time of year, just about everywhere I go, I always end up using it. Like if we ever fish a tournament this time of year, I'd probably have 2 or 3 of them rigged up. A different color, of course.
Yeah,
very effective, very, very effective bait, especially this. I don't think a lot of people realize how effective it is in the wintertime.
And the tin head one that we're not supposed to talk about.
No, I've had those for a lot.
But you don't give them up.
I actually made those 20 years ago. I made them.
But you stash them.
Yeah, I didn't say that. We'll probably make them soon.
Okay. Well, you got all this secret stuff. You really do. Like,
I got a lot.
I mean, you always hear like, well, Kevin Van Dam throws the same crankbait that you throw when that guy's a zillionaire. Well, you know what? Aaron Martin throws different shit.
Aaron, do you always throw a no action trailer on that thing, or will you throw a paddle tail on it or something?
Yeah, on that bait. You can do a little ribbon tail, like a little small one, like a really thin ribbon tail. But I always end up doing better with this a straight, like a fluke type or a straight bait.
Subtleness. You guys
split tail.
Awesome.
You want to go and take some questions from the viewers? You guys ready?
We got viewer questions.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Questions from viewers.
I got a couple personal questions if Aaron's willing to answer.
Let's not get too personal.
Yeah, not too personal, Danny.
Not too personal, but like just
Aaron, meet our intern. This is College Danny.
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Hey, Collie. I can't see him. Danny?
Yeah,
Danny,
yeah. How's it going,
Danny,
man? Right? I got a couple questions. So I know you're big in Realis. I got a question about the rattle trap. So the G-Fix rattle trap.
Oh man, we didn't talk about that. Thank you for bringing that one up.
No. That's I've been waiting to ask because we haven't talked about it yet. So I want to cover it. The rattle trap, the G-Fix. in what situations, what scenarios do you throw it off? And because my favorite use for it is jigging it off the bottom.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna reel it, like if you're gonna crank and reel it, you have to go at a really fast pace. I feel like, and I've caught them going really fast. If not, it's a really productive bait to bounce off the bottom or
Very
essentially
good to
jig
balance
it.
the jig like you would a jig, work it like a jig. It's also good for getting a little deeper. Like if I fish those 8 to 12 foot and I want to reel it kind of fast, so it's good for that deeper water too. But it's really good for jigging. If I get, I mean, it's good for you can fish it in 30 feet of water and jig it.
Really?
Like where you hop a trap and let it fall, jig it up.
Is that a St. Joe special, Danny?
14. I'll usually go down to like 12 or 14 pound line, and the deeper you go, I'll even go down to 10 pound. But it's amazing how fast that bait gets down there. So you work it like a spoon.
Wow.
But the non-G fix, the regular one, it works really well for that too. But we actually changed that bait a little bit. I'm glad you brought it up. It's actually one of the things that we kind of worked on in Japan the last couple of years, and this year we got like really did some changes to it to make it a little better even. And they also, I don't know if you like that, but you might like the Nitro, the new Nitro 55 and was it 62? Oh man, 65. I'm not even familiar with the bigger size yet. I've been throwing the little Nitro 55 is like about the size of a 1/4 ounce lipless bait, but it's heavier. It's like a 3/8 of an ounce. But no, that's what I'm using right now in my lake. That and the Sujin. It's phenomenal. That new Nitro is incredible. You might want to like look them up. It's just different than all the other lipless baits out there, but it's phenomenal how it works. It works really well. And we also, like I said, changed that one you're talking about. Made a few weight changes inside of it to make it so you can actually drag it over stuff and not hang the hooks as bad. Mm-hmm. It actually is going to work really. And the Nitro actually shimmies on the fall. If you like that bait for doing that, the G-Fix, you love the Nitro.
Okay.
Because the Nitro actually shakes.
Nitro Circus.
It shakes like that. It actually shakes real fast as it falls. It's crazy. And that they
Really?
it just works on a solid retrieve or a hop. It's my favorite. It's my favorite lipless bait right now. Is that new Nitro? It's phenomenal. I caught him really good at B-Wall on it too. And
what's the weights it comes in? The weights.
There's a 55, and I'm gonna get fired now because I can't remember the big one. The big one's pretty big. It's not a 68. It might be a 65.
Do you know the weights though?
Yeah, the other one's the Nitro 55 is like I said, it's not a 3/8, but it's a 5/16 or something like that. It's a little bit heavier than a 1/4.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
The bigger one is like more like a 7/8 of an ounce. So it's over a half.
Gotcha. What's up, Danny? Danny's chomping at the bit. He's
not 7/8. It's like 4 5/8. It's a little bit heavier than a half.
5/8.
I don't know.
I think Danny's going to tell you what they weigh.
No.
Danny's going to give you the specs.
No, he got it.
Okay.
I've seen someone throw it.
It's a little over a 1/4, a little over a half. But they're phenomenal bait.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
See, Danny's a bait freak too. He knows.
It's a fatter bait. It's fatter and it's kind of like it's just fatter. But there's a lot of those out there. But it really is a cool bait. You might want to check it out. The fall on it's awesome. It shimmies better than. And I got my Apex 100. That's one of the things I tried to get my Apex 100 to do, which is a big bait. It's like an ounce and a 1/16, and it's like a 1 ounce size, and it shimmies a little bit on the fall. But this new Nitro really. Maybe it's because it is heavier, and like the 1/2 ounce size is actually it's like I said, heavier, and the 1/4 ounce size is actually heavier, like more like 3/8. So it causes it to fall faster. But the thing actually shakes the falls. You can in the tank at 16 feet, you can actually see the flash of the bait falling. Like you top it, and you let it fall, and you actually see the bait glittering on like it was glittering as it fell. Like you could see the light hitting it.
Really? That's awesome.
16 feet of water. So and the other ones don't do that as like that one does. It's phenomenal. That's one of their best baits so far.
That's outstanding.
Glad you brought that one up. I would have gotten in trouble if we wouldn't have talked about it.
Well, what else you want to talk? I mean, let's get some more sponsor stuff in. What do we got? What do we have, Aaron? What's going on with RoboWorm? Have you
that big box right there? Robo's good. Robo's making probably more worms than they.
That's for sure.
They're doing really well. They
have you thrown the Ned, the little Ned one? How do you like that?
The Ned's cool. I'm trying to get them make a sharp tail Ned. That's what I'm trying to push them on. Like a little, like the fatter one. I like when the water's warmer and the water gets colder. I tend to like a skinnier tail.
And how often do you find yourself throwing a Ned rig these days?
Probably 1.5% of the time, 1%.
Lies.
That's not enough. It's not as much as I should have this year. Drop shot I was way down on, probably like 8%. I could do percentages. I know how much I threw stuff. The shop play I actually threw quite a bit. Caught a lot of fish on it.
Is the Ned rig the new drop shot?
There's not gonna be a new drop shot.
The
drop shot? It's still king. It's still the most effective rig.
No matter what.
Yeah. No, I mean until somebody comes out with something better. But the Nico and the Ned and all that, it won't outfish a drop shot throughout the year. There's times when it would be better, but most of the time, that majority of the time, that drop shot will outfish it. I mean, this time of year, I tend to go to like more of a Ned or a Nico style bait. Because you kind of want the bottom contact, but there's only a slim. I mean, it depends where you're at. I mean, I know lakes in California, like Cast Lake and even Clear Lake, we always use drop shots up there all year long. This time of year, that's what we did. But certain days, like I always said, a cloud cover. You get some cloudy, windy days, a jig or a Ned or something that's rubbing the bottom, kind of get bottom contact. Probably will outfish a drop shot in those conditions, but a sunny, bright sunny day, even a calm day, or even more so, the drop shot will probably outfish it.
Well, I think what's going to happen is everybody's fishing a Ned rig, as you know. I mean, that's no secret. Everybody loves the damn Ned rig right now. But what's going to happen is it's going to make that drop shot fishing better. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of people weren't fishing that spinner bait for a while.
I thought you were going to say everyone's going to throw a double Ned rig.
You don't need to talk about spinner bait at all.
Yeah. So everybody went from everybody went to the chatter chicken. They're throwing the vibrating jig.
Yeah, but they all work. There's no reason to do that. They all work at the same. They all work at times. You just got to pick which one works best at that moment.
But Aaron, you are an exception. Professional bass anglers are exceptions. We are weekend anglers who maybe fish.
Don't get stuck on certain. Just remember, cloud cover. You want most of the time bottom contact, unless it's a bright cloud cover, then a jerk bait or.
Wait a minute. Wait. Stop. Okay.
That's a pretty.
Back up.
Cloud cover. So cloud cover over the years tends to make fish like eat crankbaits over a jerkbait, tend to eat a shaky head over a drop shot. It's opposite. You got something that's on the bottom. That just majority of the time, it seems like that's always the case.
Is that just because it's making noise?
Yeah, it's noise relation. It's moving. It's hitting things, bumping things more, and a fish can find it quicker, easier.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is that, and then when the sunny and especially in clear water, the fish can see much better. The drop shot's it's more visible than they can't hear as good as they can see it. So I mean, basically, so that what I'm saying. So it's clear, they can visibly actually see the bait, and then when it's cloudy and stormy and the waves are causing reflections in the water and shadows, they can't hardly pick up the movement of a drop shot bait, and the drop shot's kind of quiet unless you go heavy weight, but it tends to. I go back and forward. Ned head, if it's in between, maybe that's like partly cloudy and maybe a Ned
partly
head
cloudy. Use the Ned as your weight.
What about variable winds?
Yeah, maybe a Ned head might be actually the best way to catch them. But on those bright, sunny, calm condition days, they'll lead the Ned head, but a lot of times they'll lead the drop shot better.
Is there a weather condition where you just say to yourself, I got to go fishing. This is the deal. I need to go now. What is that? What is that?
It's not always good like you think. Prefrontal. Like right now we had this crazy moon coming up, and it's crazy because right now the guys, I talked to a guy at the ramp at Logan Martin. He said the night bite's wide open right now, but the water temperature is like warm.
The night bite
on right now. I imagine if it's on at Logan Martin, it's probably on in a lot of the places right now. Because
do you do that? Moon. Do you do that deal?
It's like 35 degrees out. Heck no.
No, but I mean, do you night fish in the when it's warmer?
No,
I hardly do it all.
I used to. Bass actually changed the rules. Their rules because me and Mike Iaconelli had fished like 10, 11 o'clock at night
for practice.
For practicing.
Get like 3 hours sleep and do it again.
Yeah, you guys are out there.
I don't know if Mike ate. I don't know what Mike ate to stay awake. I know I ate a lot of food back then to stay awake, but I used to do that a lot, and they actually changed it to sunset or a half hour or whatever it is now. I think it was because me and I could stay out so late.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, who do you hang out with on tour, on the Bass Pro Tour?
Everybody. They're kind of a guild. I mean, that Red Crest. We had a Red Crest party. Just to let you know, and most anglers did show up.
I saw that.
Not just the guys that qualified, but actually other anglers that missed the Red Crest actually came up and hung out. A lot of them brought their wives, and that was one of the best part. My wife flew up and surprised me that like
Nice.
night before or that day. Brent Chapman or Bobby said she had a package for me, so I went up to Bobby and Brent's room, and then Leslie answered the door, and I was like, holy, like,
That's
I almost
awesome.
fell back.
That's
I
a
was
hell
like,
of a
"No way."
package right there.
So that was an awesome package, and that
Better
was
than
one
a
of the best
sponsor
parties
package.
best parties ever we ever had. And it was not like everybody was drinking; it was just everybody's having a good time. Everybody danced. I mean, I didn't see one Angler that didn't dance.
You were cutting a
They
rug,
were all
huh?
dancing. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and so I mean, we get along pretty much pretty well. I mean, we kind of pop off at each other playfully, but I hardly ever get mad at somebody for any
But I
reason.
mean, do you hang like? Is there
You don't have time to hang out. I mean, at the meetings and stuff, we'll hang out. Sometimes we're coming in, at the end of the day, we'll hang out a little bit. I mean, there's some of the guys at camp. We'll stop and talk to each other. But you're so busy.
Sure, I mean it's
so busy.
business.
It's so busy. Gosh dang.
Hey, back to the
you're, like,
dancing.
super busy.
What's a song that just gonna make you dance? You can't help it. You just can't help it. You're gonna get up and dance if you hear that song. What's the song?
Dang. I don't know, man. I'd like a lot of 70s music, probably like you, 80s, 90s.
Yeah. So like if you heard
Yeah,
"Celebrate Good Times," come on. Aaron,
that's a good song. It's always a good
Aaron's
like a
out there.
Queen song or
Yeah, and then you go,
Metallica,
take it back now,
yeah.
yo. Two
Stone
hops
Temple
this
Pilots.
time.
I like a lot
Slide
of
to the left.
Yeah,
Slide to the
not
right.
really that one as much.
Yeah.
Aaron, who's the best dancer in the BPT?
Yeah, who is? Uncle Kevin?
Kevin.
Is it Uncle Kevy?
I think it used to be Skeet, but I don't think Skeet holds that title anymore.
His knees are bad. No, his knees
Oh,
are bad.
it's oh my gosh, duh. Put his oh my gosh.
Marty the Party?
Marty Party seems to be the best dancer nowadays.
Oh yeah, he can cut it up.
He can. He moves good.
Skeet's
too.
kind of
Looks
Skeet's getting out of shape, isn't he? We need to talk to Skeet a little
like,
bit.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I told him. No, I don't know. He
I
looks
said
pretty
that.
good.
You didn't say that. I did. But I mean, he used to be a fit guy.
Maybe he's making too much money.
Yeah, it's the truck.
It's the
keep
truck.
a lot of food in that truck.
Guys with big trucks, right?
Yeah, you know what they say. Big gloves.
Yeah.
Big tires.
Big tires. Aaron Martens, dude. I just want to tell you, man, it's always an amazing time when you come here, and I learn so much. I never get to my agenda. The show never goes as I envision it, but it always goes way better.
We always have a good time. I have to come down there in studio someday.
Dude, I would love that. I would love
That'd
for
be
you.
fun.
You know what we need to do, Aaron, is
You got to come here for a run down in the city. I'd like to run down there. I did run a few times around that area, but it's fun. I like running those.
Down
I ran,
Lakeshore?
absolutely.
my
And we
first
need
marathon
to
was in Philadelphia, the Philly Marathon.
Aaron, remember the 2000 Bassmaster Classic?
Oh gosh, which one was it though?
That was Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's the one Will Dave's one.
Yeah, Woo Dave's one. And Dog Bears. You know that fishery right now, not Lake Michigan, but like I think you were in Lake Calumet, right?
Calumet and the rivers and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, that place
Good.
is an amazing fishery now. There's grass there now, Aaron.
The water has been up
It
about
was
5 feet.
It looked like a strip mine pit when I fished it.
Dude,
It was
we
like,
catch
Still looks
20-pound
like that.
sacks, 20-pound bags easy.
Still looks like that, but Lake
Oh,
Michigan's
that's
up like
grass.
4 feet. So all the shallow bays have nice grass, and now it's like 5 foot
that's all
instead
it
of 2
takes.
foot.
That's all it takes is some grass. That place had like very
Tons
few
of milfoil.
It has the best population of
Yeah.
fish within 100 miles of the Chicagoland area.
Before when I
Absolutely.
fished it, you could actually fish it for a week and catch every fish and name your bass. You know,
Exactly,
oh,
and they
this
were
is
all 12 and a
Samuel.
half
Look at this.
inches.
Oh man, now they get taken through
That's
that rock
amazing.
every
It's actually
weekend
doing
and
good.
released,
That's
and then
good.
there's still more to catch.
So here's what
It's
we're going to
crazy.
do. We're going to go for a run in the city, and then we're going to put the boat in and revisit some of your 2000 Bassmaster Classic areas. And you're going to
Okay.
see how amazing it is.
I want to.
Yeah, and one of your sponsors is going to pay for all this. It's going to be amazing.
They might. I could
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
get Realos or somebody to pay for it.
First class flight.
I mean,
You
it'll be
gotta do a lot of
amazing. When
commercials
our
and
new
stuff.
square bill debuts, the Pat and Aaron square bill, then that's when I think we need to make this happen.
Way cheaper than Japan.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Oh, it's so hard. It would be actually.
It'd be amazing.
You know what? Out of all the cool stuff, you got coming out that you've talked about. I'm most excited about this hot shit trailer hook.
Yeah.
It is cool. It is cool. The guy, Shingo, one of the guys that's in charge of everything at Gami, he said, Jeff told me, he smiled when he saw it because it was different.
Wow.
It actually works really, really well. I don't know how it works so well. I have a picture. I can't show it, but it's crazy how well it works. So I was like, I actually, did some torch work on it. And I was actually like, once in a while you get something that just like, it might be an accident, but I was trying to get to do what it's doing and it did it, so maybe it wasn't.
It was a happy accident.
It's different. It's different than anybody else's trailer for sure.
So, like, let me ask you this on the business side of stuff. You design a bait, okay? And do you get royalties off of bait sales, or is it flat fees, or does it vary?
It varies, but most of the time you get on, like, signature baits, they'll make some money on them. Signature series stuff.
So, like, Aaron's Magic, a famous color. It's been duplicated.
No, Robo's been the same for years.
Okay, gotcha.
They're slightly stingy in that department. I can say that because they are.
Well, how did that happen? Like, how did Aaron's Magic
I
happen?
don't know. It was. I helped develop it, but Mike Breakbill is the color master over
You
there.
just put a bunch of baits and they bled together, and you're like,
No, I
this is awesome.
remember asking him for like a green and a blue and like brown. I remember the first ones came out almost like teal, like they were weird looking. I remember, really, Mike, he's got a good eye. I'm colorblind, so it's hard to explain what I want to see and what comes out because I'm colorblind. But we work together well.
So is Ryan. Ryan's colorblind too.
Red, blue, green. Like I can't see shades of red. My wife just had her hair like really awesome hair job today and had it colored a little bit, and I can't.
Let's see it. Leslie, come on the camera. Let's see your hair.
Hey, Leslie, you around?
Let's see Leslie's hair.
Where she's at?
I'm a
God,
hair.
I love that you're colorblind.
I'm a hair guy.
I got hope.
I didn't notice it right away. I'm so bad because I can't see. They want to see your hair.
Don't tell.
I told them you got your hair done like
Don't
it
tell
was
her.
like
Don't tell
years ago.
Shh, let me see.
That's good.
Here comes
Yeah.
Leslie.
She's wearing sweats.
That's all right. So,
There she is.
hey, Leslie, your hair looks amazing. Did you just get it done?
Her hair looks amazing. You just get it done.
Your hair looks amazing. You just got it done?
Yeah, I cried in the seat. This is the first time I ever had
I noticed right away. Aaron didn't even notice, but as soon as you got, I noticed immediately.
My truck broke down at the park and went for a 5-mile run. It wouldn't start.
He can't see red.
And then she came down there and tried to jump it. It wouldn't jump, so I had my mechanic come down there. And
Leslie,
all that. I probably wouldn't
he's
noticed it,
fooling
but
you. He can see
does
red.
look like it.
When we were in the Bassmaster Classic in his boat, he had 15 red crankbaits in the rod locker, and he knew they were red.
Yeah, because I told him.
It said it on the package.
I send her pictures of baits sometimes in words. I'm like, what color is it?
That's outstanding. But you look amazing, as usual, Leslie.
Thank you.
And the boot camp is doing you well. I will not mess with you. You are a force to be reckoned
Oh,
with.
that's great. It says your wife's an animal.
You just tell them everything?
Yeah, you want to know.
It's my buddy. Yeah. I knew where you guys had your first kiss. It was magical. It was magical. That 7-Eleven will never be the same.
22nd anniversary. Yeah, that's the 7th.
It was outside the Circle K.
22 years. Where's your thing at 22 years?
I have
now?
it.
Married 22 years now. That's pretty good.
And how old are Jordan and Spencer?
16 and 12.
Wow.
Driving.
Crazy.
It's pretty good.
And who's most like you, Aaron, and who's most like Leslie?
Jordan. Jordan is a lot like me. Yeah, probably Jordan's a lot like me in some ways. She likes to draw and she doesn't like fishing as much as I do, but she loves to like draw.
She loves outdoors.
And outdoors. She loves hunting and she does like fishing, but she likes hunting better than fishing. Which is weird.
Really? Interesting. Have you ever brought her bow hunting?
Oh, she just got a bow. One of my friends gave her that's an older, but it's a nice bow.
Not yet.
Okay.
But she's been shooting a target in the backyard, yeah. So next year, possibly, she might go for a boat trip.
But I want to go, like, if I'm going to go hunt, I don't hunt. I like to shoot guns in the woods illegally sometimes. But I really don't.
Gun-free state? And that's not good. Is it gun? It's kind of like, they let you have guns there?
We just go in the alleys in Chicago and shoot them. But it's no. I live in Indiana. I'm away from there.
But shoot them in basements.
Yeah, we do. But never mind. But see, but I think that we should bring back natural hunting, like where it's just man and a weapon like a knife or like a sharp stick, and you have to. Yeah, you got to catch that animal.
Yeah. A lot of times they snared and trapped animals.
Yeah, snare them, trap them, and then stab them. It's like you jump on their backs. Goodbye, animal.
Gerald Swindle did that. Did he ever tell you?
No.
He
Oh,
did
you
that,
should
yeah.
call him and get his story. He told an awful story at dinner one time.
Really?
Tell us how he killed a deer.
Leslie, tell us.
No, I don't remember all of it. I was horrified.
Did it make you not hungry?
I don't know. He said he jumped on it, stabbed it, and all this kind of stuff. Remember that?
Oh, we'll ask him next time.
Sounds
You
like
have to ask
We got to
him.
get that story.
sounds like somebody got some anger issues. But no, wouldn't that be fun? Natural hunting.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Dangerous kind like pig and stuff. Something that could really hurt you.
I think you mean
You have to, like-
primitive.
Yeah.
Alligators.
He said,
Alligator.
what did he say,
That's
pagan?
a very good one. Alligator. 'Cause, yeah, you'd have to hit him like in the eyeball because they wouldn't hit. It'd just deflect off their head.
Yeah, or put your thumb right in a great white's eye, because that'll stop them.
No, they have eyelids, man, to protect against that.
Well, no, and I
Great
heard
whites do.
I heard when I was getting attacked by a shark. If
You
I
watch Shark Week?
I was on Shark Week as Manny once. You put your thumb in the shark's eye. It's a true story, and you punch it in the nose.
He bites you in half.
Yeah, but you'll be dead by then, so it
Doesn't
never
work. They
works.
close their eyes during attacks.
So Leslie, how often do you go fishing with Aaron?
Oh, right.
Hardly ever.
You did go. We went
Yeah.
to Green Bay.
He doesn't let
Yeah.
you, or you don't want to go?
No, just no time.
I try to get her to go sometimes when it's good.
I just don't have time. If we're like away, camping and we have time, I'll go. I enjoy it.
But being a Bassin wife ain't easy, is it? I mean,
No.
I'm being serious. It's a lot of work for you. You do a lot of work,
Yeah.
Leslie.
Yeah, she raises the kids.
Well,
basically.
I was
A lot
talking
of
to
time.
Leslie, Aaron.
I know the kids. It's a lot of work.
Well, so what? I mean, besides the kids, there's the business end.
Yeah, there's lots. She does a lot. You want to
Yeah.
answer? Because she knows she.
Yeah, I mean, I do all the boring stuff he doesn't want to do,
Well, what
You
is
make
the
all
boring?
his food?
What's the boring
just
stuff?
all the communications, accounting, contracts, all that kind of stuff.
The calendar thing. You're supposed to do this on certain dates. I don't like that.
Yeah,
one either.
scheduling. He doesn't like that.
Be here then.
The
That be here
calendar
then
Yeah,
thing.
Campground reservations for the year. It's a lot of work.
Social
Yeah.
media.
Social media. She does a lot of that.
Yeah,
Helps
I
a
try
lot.
to help him stay on top of that.
All that stuff.
Yeah,
Well, you're a busy
Wow.
woman. And
very busy.
together, you guys are an amazing bass fishing couple. And I mean that sincerely. You guys are freaking cool. I'm just saying it straight up. It's awesome. It's awesome, man. And,
Thank you.
And the happiness seems to show. It really does with your entire
Yeah.
family. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, they're tough at times, but they're at the age. We
They're
We
teenagers.
kind of expect it because we can still remember what we were like at that age. So we're like, okay, I remember doing that.
But Leslie, I don't know if you caught any of the beginning of the show, but I told Aaron that he seemed to be impervious to outside forces, and all that mattered to him were you, the kids, and bass.
That's what made it easier.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I said, you haunt yourself for certain things, but kind of think about it. But that's the
Yeah,
easiest way to
he's
forget
pretty good
about
about shutting stuff out. He just doesn't.
it. Yeah, I got family.
If it doesn't affect him directly, he's not going to worry
I
about
watch
it.
the news. I watch what some people go through, especially military and stuff. That's when you think about what I've gone through, like what happens and what some other people go through, whatever. Makes
Makes problems small, don't it?
Yeah.
Some of my problems like non-existent.
Exactly. I actually count my blessings often, and as weird as it may sound, sometimes that brings out in us when we have to realize that, like, man, that's a lot worse than what I got going
A lot
on.
worse.
You
A
know,
lot,
I mean,
yeah. So it makes you feel like I feel very fortunate. Got a healthy family, and I just pray for everybody else that. I meet a lot of people over the years, a lot of the veterans and guys have been injured permanently. I have friends that have been in accidents. It's like they have it way worse.
and
I
again,
just
man,
lost a pass or made a bad decision. I get mad at that, but that helps me get over things much quicker because it's really not that. It's not a big deal.
it's the turn of just a, what do they call it, the flick of a switch or the snap of your fingers that things change. And we've all done dumb things in our lives. We've had, and we're all fortunate that we've gotten through stupid situations, maybe bad decisions we've made. But the fact of the matter is, we always have to realize where we are and how fortunate we are. And the fact that this whole bass fishing community is so tight, it's a pretty neat family. It really is. I don't know if there's, like, I'm not involved in maybe professional football players' lives or whatever, but it just seems that as bass fishermen, there's a lot of uniting that happens. But now
it's a wholesome sport. Yeah, it's a wholesome environment sport.
But here's what I want to bring it to, and I'm glad that Leslie's here too. And 2019 was a weird year for bass fishing. Very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You came out very well. You're doing good. You love to fish. You're going to do good wherever you fish. But there was a lot of division, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I don't like, Leslie. I don't like the division in the sport.
I don't either, but anytime there's big change that comes to anything, people are going to fight it.
Sure, of course.
Right.
Whatever. History of religion, history of politics. It's all the
Right.
same, okay?
Yes.
The people are going to fight it. But what I just want to see is all my heroes getting along and happy again. You know what I mean? These guys, as weird as we're fanboys, okay? We're fans of the sport of bass fishing. All right? And it hurts us when our heroes collide, if that makes sense. Aaron, I'm glad you're not one of the colliders. That's all.
No.
I'm glad you're not. You know.
Not a collider.
Hey, can you guys just put your heads together for 1 second? Just put. Okay, I just wanted to get that screenshot.
There it is. Boom. We got it.
I made a heart.
Yes, it was amazing.
So we'll get that to you. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, Bass Fishing Galaxy. That's Leslie Martens and Aaron Martens. And thank you so much. We had an amazing time with you.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So
always a good time. Thank you.
So you told me on the phone yesterday you want to come on every other show, right, Aaron?
I don't know if I'm able to do it that much.
Well, that's what you said. I didn't make that up. You said it.
You can pretty much call me anytime. You surprise me sometimes. Sooner I thought you might call me, or sometimes later and you call me. Like this time it seemed like later, but probably wasn't.
No, we do it about every 8 months.
Yeah, you do.
It's like I'm like the Jimmy Kimmel show, or Fallon. I do my rotation of superstars all the time. That's what I'm doing. So Leslie, did you like the Griswold picture that Andy made for you?
William Wallace.
Yeah, that one was strange. That one at some point. It is that movie's 30th anniversary this year. So
is that right?
Everybody needs to watch it. Yeah.
There it is. Christmas Vacation.
I don't need an excuse. I love that movie.
Hey, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and the best to you and all your family.
Merry Christmas,
Thanks for
Happy
having
New
us.
Year, everybody. Thank you.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Leslie and Aaron Martens right there. Yes. Yeah. There it is. Kapoom kapow. Wow. Good times, right?
Guy puts the Superstar in Superstar.
But what I love about, I have to learn this. So what I'm going to do next time we have Aaron on is I'm just going to, this is going. Bye. That's it.
Yeah, no need for that.
There's no need for this. I just go.
Hey, Aaron, you working on some baits?
Yeah, that's it. Let it rip.
1 hour later,
let it rip.
all questions answered.
The whole time. Danny, what do you think about this, man?
Oh, awesome. I'm not even, I don't have any words for it, honestly. I mean, he covered everything that I wondered. He covered all the bases.
Unbelievable.
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 Extraordinary.
JP High, you're a big Aaron Martens fan.
It was great. I mean, you guys kind of geeked out on tackle. I felt like it was just Pat and Aaron on the phone talking to me.
Yeah.
What can we change? What kind of baits?
Well, that's the magic of it, man.
But I throw like 3 baits, so I'm.
But that shows you the discipline of a guy like Aaron Martens.
Yeah, it's insane.
Because how can you be out catching fish, right, Andy? How can you be out catching fish and doing well on that, but feel that there's probably a better way to catch them? That doesn't happen to normal people. It don't.
The one thing
makes him good.
He's always deemed as the drop shot guy. Like when you think of like Aaron Martens, you think, oh, drop shot. The one thing I didn't ask him that I wish I did was at what point, what scenarios, what time of the day, conditions does he switch, like how he rigs his bait? Wacky.
Wait,
rig?
hold on. I'll text him.
It's like
3:30. He said
Just
at
hey,
3:30 he
when
does
we have
that.
him on again, ask him
No.
that question in the beginning, and then we'll just
And then I'll just go to the kitchen. That'll be something to eat.
That's the one thing I forgot of, like nose hook, wacky rig, like
he's got that.
3/4
It's
of the
all
way.
out there.
Yeah,
it's all out there for you to find.
I know.
I've seen all those.
He's the Lord of the
questions
Fly.
answered.
The drop shot.
That's what I was trying to
And
ask him directly.
He doesn't want to be the drop shot guy.
He don't
either.
even
he's
like it.
He's a power fisherman.
Yeah,
That dude's a power fisherman.
He
likes to power fish.
Honestly,
like JP High.
He's a cranker. He's a flipper.
On the Delta, I saw
He
him.
just has to drop shot.
On the Delta, I saw him flipping. I mean, that just blew, previously
Deal
what,
that.
what I
cut
thought he
his
was.
teeth doing that.
Yeah.
He actually nose hooks red-winged blackbirds.
I love that term.
Bingo.
That is the truth. That is the truth. You guys
It
want to give
does.
away some spinner baits?
Yeah, let's
Give
give
away
away
some
some.
spur
Let's
baits.
do it.
You got some
Let's-
people
spinning baits.
You know what? Let's get her done.
in the randomizer?
We JP was working on his randomizer. We decided what we're giving away. And the winner for the War Eagle is Austin Bonjour. Austin Bonjour.
Austin Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Austin
New
John
Jersey.
Bon Jovi.
Bingo. Austin. All you
Austin
got-
Bon Jovi from somewhere, Runnymede, New Jersey.
Let's talk.
Austin
Lemonade.
Bon Jovi.
Home of Peter Gluzak.
Austin Bonjour. Austin.
Is he really from there?
Who? Bruce Springsteen is.
Johnny Bon?
Pete Glusick?
Johnny Boch. All right, John Bonjour.
Yeah. Austin.
So he
Bonjour.
won. He won 50 bones worth of War Eagles.
Yeah, you won 50 bones worth of Oreo Eagles.
Oreo War Eagles. It's a new color. It's an amazing
it's
color.
his new hot ore.
Austin, all you have to do is DM us on our Facebook page. Say, hey, I'm the winner of the Aaron Martin show, and we will send $50 worth of War Eagles
Won Aaron Martin.
your way.
He won the whole show.
You won the show. You
And
were
then-
you were the
He's
show's
watching.
winner.
And then the other guy, we're sending his baits out too at the same time. What's his name?
Frank Morris.
Frank Morris.
Frank Morris.
Yeehaw.
We might
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, we might.
Frank.
Message us 2 more times.
No, they're out.
No, we're just kidding you. But I want to tell you guys, you got to understand something. Just be patient. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks to get something. When you think
Yeah, it's like they win. They want it the next day.
that's
They're like,
right,
Stray Cast, why aren't you paying like $35 next day shipping to give me my War Eagle
Yeah.
stuff for free?
Thanks,
like,
Danny.
Come on.
In
Gosh.
the words of Axl Rose.
So from now, from now,
Takes a little patience.
Rastafari
Yeah.
is patient and all-knowing. Nazi dread, king of I and I.
Ja, War Eagle.
Bass fishing War Eagle prize. Who won it? John Bon Jovi?
Austin Bonjour.
Austin Bonjour. Ciao.
Oui, oui.
Jean Le Pétanchien. So you won. That's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been another action-packed show. An amazing time. Thank you, Aaron Martens. Thank you, Alpha Angler. Thank you, TH Marine. Thank you, Bavarni Baits. Thank you, Bada Stern. Thank you, Bite Me Tackle. Of course, thank me, War Eagle. Line and Lure Power Pole.
Thank you, Leslie Martins.
Leslie Martins, amazing. Her hair looked phenomenal.
Yeah. Red.
Remember to
I didn't see it.
keep bassin' proper. Keep bassin' proper. You know what that means?
Keep proper bassin'.
It means what you want it to mean. Keep it proper, though. I'm Pat Renwick. I'm coming back next week. So is Ryan Whitaker. So is Danny Dicky Mo. So is JP High, and so is Andrew Ellenberger, the Ginger Ninja. And we have Corey Johnson, Brian Latimer, and Drew Cook, along with special surprises for everyone. You want to tune in. You want to. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. Until then, I bid you peace, Space Galaxy. Bonjour, et ciao.